Hello and welcome to the San Diego 40K podcast. I am Justin.
I'm George.
And I'm Shane.
Yes, Shane is here. We've been trying to plan this for a while, so yeah, we finally were able to do it. So
I don't have to
anyways,
live in the comments anymore. I can actually be here.
you can actually be here.
That's like 10,000 posts.
Okay guys, so...
And then next week there's a 20,000 post wall comment in our comments.
Okay, so again, I'll have just to go over the agenda for today. I'll have Shane introduce himself and tell us about his background, likes, dislikes, long walks on the beach. We'll go over facts that just came out today from GW. So some really interesting stuff that came out of there. Psychic powers. We'll bring that topic up again. League news. So if you haven't noticed, I'm going to try it. Well, of course you haven't noticed, but I'm going to be trying to upload a test video for a casted game that I had. Danny FJ and John Platt, a local Necron player.
The cast is guest starring one of our good friends, Ben. What's his last name?
Ben Cromley.
Cromray, who's visiting from his post in Washington D.C.
Yes, and yeah, he decided to come visit us, lowly guys, from all the way from the East Coast. And we also had Doug Johnson make a cameo in that little test video too.
And I make an astonishing announcement.
Yes, he does.
You have to listen to it to hear, though.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that during that part, and then after that we'll be going over the announcements. Since we think the facts is going to be a really big chunk of this podcast, just because it was very extensive of what they did.
Surprisingly thorough.
Very surprisingly thorough. So with that, I'll have Shane introduce himself and tell us about some stuff about you.
Well, I used to run the 40K League at Game Empire for 6.5 years until I left back in November, and everybody was sad. But I ran 41 leagues in a row, and then left before 42 because you can't go to 42 in 40K. It doesn't work.
Yeah, there's I mean that's the term limit on running leagues.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It just happened that way, so that was kind of cool. But my wife, who's over sitting on the couch, working diligently, she got a job at Amgen, a medical writer, and that's awesome. And it's pretty cool up there, but 40K is lacking in terms of having a store as good as GE and a community. So, but I've been playing 40K since 1996. Started playing Chaos. Still have all those old Chaos models. Still use my great and clean one that I painted when I was 17. And he still kicks ass, and it's awesome. So yeah, plate works and Impure Guard. Just sold my Tau because that's George's domain, and I don't want to step on his toes.
I appreciate the thought.
Yeah. So, and I don't have broadsides anymore because I sold them. So.
What's the point of that?
Once the broadsides are gone.
Once the broadsides are gone, there's
the rest of the army is just garbage. So.
Okay. Yeah.
You should run Tau allies, George, with the real army.
Oh, but then you just bring 6 fire warriors and they get shot at and die.
Right, but the other troops, the orcs that you would take as your main army, so you could have lots of Ludas. Because
Ludas are pretty rad now.
They're better than Crisis Suits for the same slot.
Disagree, because increase in Terminators.
Yeah. Hey, custom Mega Blasters, those are characters that shoot those. You can precision shot with 3 of those shots.
Anyway, this was about Shane introducing himself.
Yes, about Shane. I don't know how we got into Tau.
Well, it's just some kind of anymore. I don't like good guy armies. My guard is chaos out. So
I take offense to that. We're brainwashing communists. How dare you call us good guys? We're just better than you.
You're the good guys of the 40K universe.
No.
Yes,
just because I'm a good guy doesn't mean I'm a good guy.
You're still nicer than the Imperium.
Yes, you are.
Fair. Guilty as charged.
You're all about the greater good of your whole thing. So you treat people nicely unless they don't follow you.
So it's going to be back here in San Diego. I'm going to go play some games on Sunday before I take off back home. So
sounds cool.
I've played 4 whole games, 6th edition at this point. So
that's 4 more than me.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I'm about to get into a league, Doug's league, eventually because school isn't going to allow me to do it now. So
yay.
It's going to be trial by fire.
Yeah.
Trial by 2,000 point league. Do whatever you want. It's legal fire.
Yeah, I'm planning. So remember all those monoliths I have?
Oh
So I'm
boy.
gonna, yeah, I'm
Oh
gonna run
boy,
6.
here we go.
I'm just gonna run 6 monoliths and see how stupid that's gonna be. I actually have to go back to my cousin's place because I gave him a monolith because he's running Necrons. So I was just like, I'm just gonna need to borrow this for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll give it back to you.
I still have that box of 2. We should trade. We talked about it a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I'm willing to take it off your hands. I still like monoliths. They're really fun to play with, especially in A-box.
Sure.
Death pyramids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like mobile, like what's it called? Bastions. It's just fun.
Yeah,
just
and
like-
it's got a gun on each side. I mean, it's about as close. Yeah, actually, that's exactly. The guys come out of it. Wow.
Yeah.
100%.
So
A
I'm
flying
thinking,
bastion.
yeah.
And
So
people
I'm-
don't really, they don't screen cheese because it's not Death Ray, Doomsday.
yeah. So
stuff.
I'm thinking like 6 monoliths, 4 men squad warrior squads, 2 like really cheap lords, and then I'll buy a bastion just for kicks. just for the anti-air fire.
Just so everyone can have an
Why-
armor 14
Why
around.
not a Sky Shield landing pad so you can teleport your monoliths on point? Just because.
Just cuts. Oh, you know what? I need to.
And
go.
then they'd get a 4+ invul save.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be awesome.
Since apparently we can't jinx save anymore.
No.
Rocket jinx.
Now we'll get to that in a
It's hard
bit.
to jink when you're a skyscraper.
Well, if the pilot's that good,
I don't even know if a Necron monolith has a pilot. It kind of just is there.
I'm sure there's a scarab
I mean-
somewhere that drives it.
It's a scarab. Has to be a scarab.
that's why it goes so slow. He's not used to not
Yeah,
having
because scarabs
6
aren't fast in 40k.
legs. Yeah. He's just not used to having a hover engine instead of legs. For all these millennia. Still hasn't gotten used
They
to
don't really lift off very often.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, anyways, Shane, again, thanks for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me.
So we'll go ahead and get into the meat of today's podcast is effects of GW. So apparently GW decided that the game was broken and needed to fix it again with some facts.
I mean, we've been hearing rumors of upcoming FAQs pretty frequently, but this, I think, was a lot more than most people were expecting.
Yeah, because they went pretty extensive.
There's a lot of pink on these pages.
Yes. I think out of the ones that I've read, because I've only read the IG, Necron, and Space Marine one, Space Marines were the ones that actually didn't actually get that big of a fact update. I mean, there's a couple like key things here and there, but compared to like Necrons and for IG, there was a lot less pink on the Space Marine one than were on the other 2. That's for sure.
Space Marine's nice and straightforward.
Yeah, it's nice and straightforward, which is really good in the sense that they don't really need any more updates, in my opinion. They were just trying to make it in line with 6th edition. But then again, it's just like they're still kind of the Joe Schmoes of, hey, we're the weakest of the Space Marines right now.
But my favorite thing, just opening up the rulebook FAQ, is that they cleaned up the words for lookout surf, so it's not or unsafe ones. They got rid of that.
Yeah.
It's because they changed Lookout Sir to always treat it like it's a mixed armor unit. There's a character in there.
Yeah.
So that should clear up a lot of confusion for everybody, because as you may have seen that wonderful flowchart that was floating around for a while that Reese showed me.
There was a flow chart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got put up onto Battle Lost Souls, I think, and basically it was about a 32-step flow chart for resolving any incoming ones.
And it needed a couple more steps.
Yeah,
to be
it was
perfectly
missing some
accurate.
stuff.
Yeah.
What?
It didn't account for cover saves or
That is fucking retarded.
So hopefully it'll be a little easier now. It seems like
Yes.
and they did clean it up so that you have to resolve Lookout Sir against the closest model to the character, so that'll help with Paladin and Knob Cheese.
Yeah.
It balances a lot of stuff out right there.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
And it makes a lot more sense that the guy closest to you is going to be the one jumping in front of the bullet. So.
Yep. It does. 40k making sense. It's awesome.
Such a novelty, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it does make sense, it's surprising.
Mhm.
All right, so couple things
So-
that I was quite sad about was, I think it came out of the main rulebook 40k, is that my monolith does not longer get a jinx save. I am quite sad about that.
Heavy skimmers no longer get a jinx.
which is just the monolith thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's actually 2 heavies now.
What's the second heavy one?
It's a Lehman Russ.
Now, Lehman Russ is a heavy vehicle?
They count as a heavy now.
Oh, that's good.
Because Lumbering Behemoth didn't actually do anything anymore.
Yeah. So they
Huh.
replaced it.
You
and
could always shoot the stuff, but Snapfire.
Oh,
Being allowed to
okay.
shoot additional weapons didn't do anything in 6th edition.
Yeah. So being a lumbering behemoth actually makes it a lot better.
Well, heavy.
Yeah.
All right, so some other really big changes that I think everyone's going to be pretty happy about. Wolfguard, Knobs, and Knob Bikers are no longer units of characters.
Yay!
So that's pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, no more stupid shenanigans there.
I think it helps the game out a lot, just because that whole idea of like knob bikers rolling around and saying like, oh, I take a wound. Well, this guy that hasn't taken a wound yet will take it for you.
Right.
There's a little nerf to the Talon there, and Crisis Shazvray is no longer a character for the sergeant of the unit, so no more precision shots without your Shazvray K unit list. Shazvray bodyguard character unit now,
Yeah.
which is a little weird, but whatever.
The thing that I really like about not having those units as characters is that the entire unit doesn't have precision strike with all of the shots. Because bikers, half the time they hit are precision strikes. That's just aim.
Yeah, they just
spray.
They're not that good at shooting.
Yeah.
They don't even spray and pray. They just spray.
Yeah. So that's nice. Because too much precision strike, it's just
That can break
silly.
the game.
Yeah. Maybe they should have been able to accept challenges like characters, but not everyone would be characters.
Yeah.
But
Because you have like the
Speaking
head
of
honcho
character-
knob.
But speaking of accepting and giving challenges, the Trigon Prime has become a character. So beware, guy with a Melta-Bomb. He's going to call you out.
Yeah, and also Bjorn's Fell-Handed. It's also a character now.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's got a name.
Yeah.
Good name should be character.
Yeah. I think Lucas the Trickster and the other guy.
Oh, Thor?
Yeah, Arjak. I think those guys are both characters too.
Yeah. Well, I figure Arjak, come on, he's that whole personal bodyguard guy to the Space Wolf guys. Brain farting right now. Logan Grimnar? He's like the personal bodyguard person.
Oh, yeah?
So of course he's gonna accept challenges.
Let's see, what else do we have?
Let's see. So for the Imperial Guard Codex, one of the ones that I thought was a really good fix, even though it was kind of funny if it didn't get fixed, was the Commissar's Summary Execution, where if before the fact it was read as the highest leadership model in the unit would be executed.
Which should be the Commissar every time.
No, not the Commissar. It would be if you took Space Marine allies and you took a Space Marine captain and like a little blob squad with a Commissar in it.
Yeah.
If they failed, you'd shoot the captain and he'd die straight out. And they actually fixed that, saying that it would be the highest Imperial Guard model in the unit.
Okay.
So you're just killing sergeants. Commissars don't kill other commissars. So they fixed that.
And to everyone's happiness, they cleaned up the wording on grab, shoot, insertion, so you can only get out while it's moving. Not during the flat out move during the shooting phase, which was just, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know where that whole thing was. So yes, thank you GW for clearing that up, especially since I use Vendettas for my Imperial Guard.
Who doesn't?
Yes.
Really, seriously. Why don't they have a model for that they could sell? I don't understand.
I think they planned it with Forge World just to get more money. So you sell the Valkyrie and then you sell the last cannons. So unless they want to customize it themselves, Forge World will make some money off of it just for the kit.
So some other interesting little tidbits. You can't choose to take snapshots. So any ballistic scale 0 characters that end up with the Witchfire power through the random psychic power rolls, sucks to be you. You can't shoot that at all anymore.
Yeah.
Or Broodlord, you can't shoot those Witchfires if you don't want your Hypnotic Gaze is pretty cool, but your other powers are sort of shitty.
Mhm.
Stick with Hypnotic Gaze. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Issue challenges and then tell them not to fight.
Yeah.
Another thing too is that all indirect fire choices for Imperial Guard have lost direct fire, and I think that affects like all indirect fire for like
I
across the
think
board,
it's
right?
just anything with ordnance or
Yeah.
barrage.
Yeah, Ordnance Battery, like the Colossus lost it, Griffin lost it, and they actually finally said that Valkyries and Vendettas are flyers with hover/transport.
Look at that.
I liked it
It's all
better when
hidden
they
and
couldn't.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it
makes
better
sense.
when you. I was just hoping that they weren't gonna have hover, because it would have been funnier for people to have to use grab, shoot, insertion,
Yeah.
and it might have made them a little bit fairer of a unit.
The normal Valkyrie is totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
the
that's
Vendetta
true. The
that's
Vendetta.
It's the
Yeah,
Vendetta,
terribly
which is kind of,
underpowered.
yeah. 110 points for 3 las cannons,
130.
and 130? Okay, still.
Yeah.
130 for 3 las cannons, and it already comes with extra armor on it.
Yeah.
Armor 12. That's
Mhm.
pretty
I
good.
have one of those Forge World Thunderbolts. It's the same arm. It's only armor 10, and it's got a twin link glass cannon, 2 twin link auto cannons. That's 1 fleet.
Yeah.
Yep, consistent
So-
point costing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's Forge World for you.
Yeah,
They don't know how to write.
it's
They
either.
make really pretty models though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they do. I love their models. Let's see.
So going off on a tangent now.
Okay.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting with the FAQs that came out from Forge World a little while ago is that a lot of the special characters, if they're your warlord, they have a specific warlord trait that they get.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumors for Chaos are that it's going to be the same for some of the Chaos characters. And if you take like a Chaos, Chaos Lord with Mark of Undivided, he gets Inspiring Presence instead of having to blow on the chart, which lets any model within 12 inches use his leadership. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And appropriate.
I
right?
think
Yeah.
that's something we're going to see a lot going throughout the game, because the table's not suited. Most armies don't want to roll on the table because they could end up with powers that do nothing for them. So
Right. And in your last league that you guys played, you had if you don't like what you rolled, you can take whatever the option was for rolling the 1.
right, and so
Yeah.
that generally ended up. So most people would take strategic powers just because the strategic one was super good.
The +1 cover saving wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, because I mean, especially with some of the powers, assuming you choose like, I forget what the warlord traits are, but like some of them only really help like assault armies, some
Right,
really only
yeah.
help shooting armies. So if you're a shooting army and you get the assault power, you're kind of just like, wow, awesome,
Yay! My crisis suit's got counterattack.
nice.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see a lot more of that where characters, some of them will give you just a straight warlord trait you can choose, or you can take a generic one and roll.
Yeah.
So
I
that
mean,
gives
just
you a
like
lot
how
more
they do the
choices,
psychic
so-
powers,
More
which
options,
is really
which
awesome.
is yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they make it stick like that.
I like it because I mean, just to be able to customize like Joe Schmo, and just like, hey, look, he's cool too. So
Anyway,
pulling back.
so some other really cool FAQs just in the standard rulebook is that like flyers, flying monsters can choose to gain Skyfire at the start of their turn. So that really helps any kind of flying demon armies or chaos,
Yeah.
anti-air.
And the Tyranids, that
Oh, and the Tyranids.
Harpy. Now
Yeah.
that thing's just going to rip
Ooh.
flyers out of the sky.
Yeah, the Harpy is going to be a great anti-fire vehicle and
Monster.
Monster.
yes,
It's a monster.
anti-flying vehicle monster.
That would
Or
be
other flyers that are
Yeah.
monsters. Yeah.
And Devourer Hive Tyrant seems pretty scary at that point.
Yeah, sure.
Prepare to get glanced to death. But yeah, so I like that change. That opens up a lot of anti-air for some codexes. Just because they had no options, and now there are more options for anti-air.
Did they say anything in the facts about the flak missiles yet? Or?
Yeah, so they mentioned flak missiles, and to buy flak missiles, you specifically have to be able to.
Oh,
So
wow.
no one gets flak missiles right now. They're there to taunt us.
Bastards.
Which is good, because obviously they should cost more points.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Or you should have to trade in your Drag and Crack for them, which I don't think most people will do.
No, because then you can't shoot at guys on the ground.
Well, I would see it as this way: is like you could take 2 out of these 3 missiles. And be like,
I could understand that.
yeah, it's like you take crack and flak, or frag and
No,
crack.
I'll take Drag. And my orcs would be happy. That'd be awesome.
I know, it'd be great.
Yeah.
I think.
I wouldn't take the Daca Jet anymore, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Just
everybody
giving
got
them
the
that
Flyers.
How's the
option really
Daca Jet
changes
been
it.
working
It's
in your
really
4
good.
games?
I love it. I mean, so far in all the games I played, Flyers are great unless they're fighting me because I have Ludas, at which point my Ludas will, every time I shot at a Flyer, make it explode.
Yeah.
Because that's what Ludas do.
Broadsides are pretty good at fighting Flyers too.
I bet,
Yeah.
Twin linked. Oh, look, you're dead.
As long as I get one hit, it's not gonna feel nice.
I'm also a lucky bastard, so it takes one hit for me.
Yes, Shane.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know, Shane is notorious rolling 5-up saves. It's I don't know. He's
Sitting
And
on sixes
apparently-
is flow from his hands.
yes.
Unless it's rending, and then I can't.
No.
He's
So-
part Gork and part Mork.
So that's why I play Orcs, because if you're, luckier than normal, you should play Orcs because you're going to throw a lot more dice.
Mm-hmm.
Snapfire's cool. It slows the game down, but it seems to help me out a lot.
It's really cool when someone charges a 1-wound Dread Knight into your squad of broadsides that has twin link plasma and twin link railguns. Just letting you know.
Yeah. I don't like it when I have to charge, Chimera with guys with flamers inside my boys. That's just a charge that's not probably going to happen.
I really don't like it when you're considering charging a 15-man unit of Pink Horrors.
Not Pink Horrors, it's Flamers.
No.
Pink Horrors now
I
too?
played Pink Horrors in my last
45
game.
shots.
And it's 45 strength 4 shots
Holy
with
crap.
AP 4.
Okay, that's a lot.
I mean, even once you get them in combat,
Yeah.
they have 4 pink ones.
Yep.
Demons shooting army.
So
I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. I
Yeah.
played a really scary shooty demon list.
So, reading internet forums, it seemed like everyone was going, this is going to be the addition for multiple small units. And for flak units like boys, flamers, you really do want big units of them because if something charges you, you're going to get all those shots.
Yeah.
And, then you're going to hang out for a long time because most of those units are fearless in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you charge somebody, you want to make sure you get at least enough guys into combat.
But as a Horde Orc player, I have yet to really target anything with my boys because everybody's gone shooting.
And yet, as a Tau player, I've had an extremely good luck type hitting things with my boys. It's a little weird.
Well,
I think it's just
That's
the meta.
just because,
we're in different cities at this point now.
yeah. I think also because when things get to me, I've already softened them up a lot with the Tau. And so the boys are like, oh, 3 Terminators, well, we'll fight this for a while.
Mhm.
Also,
And Justin can't comment because he hasn't played any games yet.
but
I haven't played any games that I don't play orcs,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of just like,
our
okay, sure.
listeners have heard a lot about sort of what the meta's like down here in San Diego, but what does it look like up there in Los
Yeah.
Angeles?
I've seen, mostly I'm in Thousand Oaks, so it's not quite LA. So I'm off the West End, but there's a couple official GW stores up there. There's a store called Game Over, which is pretty good, but they're all very tiny compared to Game Empire. I think the most tables is 3, not the 14 that are at Game Empire. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit of a change. You don't just get to go in and have a room full of guys to meet.
Yeah.
And official GW stores, as you guys probably know, a lot of kids.
I hate GW stores.
I don't hate them, but
I hate them. I've been to the one in Seattle and I've been to the one in Ontario, and I just had bad experiences. Guys weren't helpful. I was surrounded by a lot of little kids.
the guy that runs the store in Thousand Oaks is pretty good. So,
Okay.
Ray. Hi, Ray. If you ever hear this, you're a cool guy.
Pass along to the other stores.
Yeah.
Tell them that we have a podcast down here.
Sure.
We will
so
pour ourselves out. Well,
Ah.
that's probably not the right term I want to say, but
I played. There's a guy that had Imperial Guard. I played, and then everything else seems to be Marines of some flavor, of course.
Mhm.
One other Orc player that I see around a lot, and then some Necrons. That's what I've seen at the store that I've been playing at. But again, only 4 games. But the Imperial Guard guy, I think, is probably the best general that I've fought against. He's got Hydra platforms on the ones with Forge World that aren't actually tanks. They're only armor 10, but they have Skyfire and Interceptor, unlike the tanks.
oh wow.
Yeah.
And you put camel cloaks on them and stick them behind a building, and they got 2+8. Or 3+. So,
Wow.
they just hang out.
Yeah.
They've only got 2 hull points instead of 3, but they're still really good.
Yeah.
So, the thing I found most about playing people that have the Imperial Guard armies or the Orc armies that don't have 12 or more guys in the squads, is that when they go to ground, in area terrains, that gives you +2 to your cover save now. If you're in a building, that's a 2+ cover save. So there's a lot of, yeah, I don't really want to die, so I'm just going to go to ground. I've seen Marines do it too, if they're getting shot at by a lot of, 83.
Yeah.
And
Well, see, I heard something interesting brought up the other day, and I'm not sure if this is just something that comes up because of the terrain that we all play on. But when the rulebook lists area terrain, it says area terrain should have a 5+ cover save.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess you only get the 2+ save in the area terrain if you have area terrain that's like inside of a ruin.
Actually, it says it gives you +2 to your cover saves, not your cover save in area terrain. So as long as the wall of the building is still in between, it's 2+.
Oh,
that's
okay. So all right. So you go to ground, and then you're getting the better save from the ruin,
but you get +2.
but you get +2 to it. Okay, that makes sense.
So I think cover it saves you more in this edition than it does in last edition, from what I've seen.
Really?
Not vehicles, but infantry for sure.
Really?
Are you guys not seeing that?
Well,
I guess.
it's
Thanks, Shane.
hard for me to comment on that because I have the unique ability to say "fuck you" cover saves.
For sure.
It just doesn't seem like it would be that way to me though, because cover is overall weaker, and I mean, even if you were in you could go to ground in any cover for a 3-up.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
and still be effective because you can snapshot the next turn. So.
that is nice.
I don't know. It seems like getting infantry out of emplacements, like on the other side of the table, is really hard if you're shooting. But of course, if you're Tau, whatever. You got Tetras and marker lights and stuff. You just go away, cover saves.
Yeah.
But
usually I leave those guys for last. It's more important with the Tau to kill their things that can kill you.
Yeah. So you haven't been going to ground much with the Fire Warriors?
I've done it a couple times, but generally the Fire Warriors stay really far away and only barely shoot the closest thing, or they stay in reserve until I can take care of the Hellhound-esque weaponry.
Oh, so they're Grots.
Yeah, they're Grots with strength 5 guns that shoot at BS2 occasionally.
Yeah.
And
They're a little tougher than Grots.
They're 10-point Grots with super guns.
Yes. Yeah. They're just blue too.
Oh yeah. Well, no, the orcs are the guys that start on the table and they're like, shoot us!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Fire Warriors like, ignore me!
That's why troops aren't that great, right? So that you can have them survive.
I can't wait to Fire Warriors like 8 points.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Double the squad size.
I'd be okay with like 20.
Yeah.
20 Fire Warriors to a squad?
12 is
make
too
marker
few.
lights super effective.
Super good.
Yeah.
I'm 30 inches away. Here, 20 shots. Hit on 2, wound on 3. 12 Space Marine saves.
More pew pew.
So, getting back into the FAQs, one of the things I noticed that just jumped out the page at me is that if you have a Demon Prince and you buy him wings, he counts as Fly Monster's creature now.
Even in the Chaos Codex.
Even in the Chaos Codex. And that's only a 20-point upgrade for that guy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome.
That is really good.
Everybody else pays 60 points for that upgrade.
And that guy can start on the table, unlike the Demon one, and he can start flying turn 1. While the Demon guy has to drop down and deploy.
And get shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so one of the things that I've been thinking about is, so, have the Demon players been taking the Sky Shield landing pad down here?
No.
Because it's essentially a Chaos Altar if you just model it that way.
Yeah.
Because you just don't scatter, you can Fate Weaver
The
in
problem,
the
the problem with that is you have to put it in your deployment zone.
Yeah, sure. But it's playing Zinch. You land with your shooty guys.
Right, but
Or
even then, your shooty guys only have 18-inch range. Yeah, like generally. Okay. But, I mean, is it worth losing your entire Alpha Strike to shoot a couple bolts from a safer position that you already have the save on?
Depends on what you're going for, because if you want the setup for the flying the next turn.
Oh, it's really good for like a flying circus army.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I said 4 was in there. I meant all the demons show up.
No, how many points is a Sky?
75. And it's like almost 1 by 1. It's gigantic.
Yeah, that would be great
really
for the
huge.
that'd be great for the demons actually.
Yeah.
Chaos Altar. I think the only real like fortifications that we've been seeing is just the Aegis defense line, just because I think it's cheap points wise and it's also cheap money wise compared to the other two.
And people always bring the Aegis defense gun, but I think bringing one Aegis defense gun is a terrible idea. because that's usually your only anti-flyer. So the guy's like, well, I'll just fly up with my Doom Sights and Death Ray it.
Yeah.
Or, I just feel like it never really... I feel like it doesn't solve the flyer problem, but it makes you think you're safe.
Well, I mean, even in Epic, I don't know if you guys ever played Epic Armageddon.
Played a little bit, but
Never got
if
to play.
you took one unit of anti-air, guess what the aircraft shot at the turn they showed up?
Yep.
You know, but that's just how it goes down.
Yeah.
Unless you have some sort of interceptor rule that lets you shoot out a sequence, that's pretty much what the flyers are going to shoot at because it's the most threatening of the thing.
Yeah.
So.
But unfortunately for us, well, unless you specifically take other flyers to help battle it, plus the Aegis defense sign, I mean, for most armies, unless you take allies too, I mean, that's your only defense. So.
Speaking of flyers, I have this army I kind of want to build. It's my second dream army after my first dream army, which is the 9 Hellhound army. My second dream...
Is that still Dream Army in 6th edition, George?
I don't care. Hellhounds are awesome, and I can field more than 9 now.
That is true. 2,000 points.
Anyway,
18.
so the second this dream army is somewhere between 2,000 points, between 3 and 6 Docker jets, and between 2 and 4 Weird Boys. Yeah. To wah every single turn with them.
And what do you have on the ground to not?
I don't care. Same thing with the Hellhound army. I'm spending 1,200 points on Hellhounds.
Yeah.
There, guys. I guess technically I should try to win this game, but I'm gonna drive around shooting with fire.
Yeah.
And with that army, you should probably take a primary cycle of firemen just to fit the theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe take a Psyker Battle Squad and then trade their powers for Pyromancy.
Can you trade their powers? I don't think you can.
Maybe.
I'd have to. I don't know.
Maybe they're like the Grey Knights.
That never came up.
It's just the primary cycle that can trade.
Okay, cool.
They're not Tyranids where everybody can trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is pretty cool.
Oh
Tyranids
yeah.
needed something.
You take
they could have given
the 3-man Zoanthrope team, and one guy's the support Zoanthrope who gives the whole team twin-linked weapons.
Yeah. Hey, they need that.
I'm not gonna lie, Tyranids have actually gotten a lot of buffs right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Gene Stealer still sucks.
Yeah.
Except for the Brood Lord. He's not bad. But he's got friends.
Margos are pretty good.
Yeah.
Just because they're the only unit that can charge on the turn they show up.
Yeah. But poor Gene Stealers, they didn't need to get kicked in the balls again. But they did.
But they did.
No charging first turn, no charging after outflank. And really, did anyone complain about charging after outflank?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Unless it was Apocalypse.
I mean, especially with the Snapfire rules, I don't think it was a problem.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I thought that was an unnecessary nerf to Assault.
Yeah.
But I don't like the rules.
Though I do like how they changed it so you can't charge after scouting.
On the first turn.
On the first turn,
If you go second, you can.
Yeah.
It's the general interpretation.
Because your opponent got a chance to
do some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first turn, no first turn charges from scouting or infiltrating.
Yeah.
Or from outflanking.
You're for Raven Guard.
Oh my god. But with debuffs to jump infantry, I'll probably be feeling a lot more Vanguard vets than and just the Assault Marines.
Vanguard vets are scary.
Yeah. Having the ability to just show up and charge it was always pretty huge, but now it's really crazy.
It's like, hey, heroic intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Poof, poof.
When
I don't have Zagstruck, but I still have the unit of 20 Storm Boys, and boy, they're awesome.
You don't have Zagstruck the model?
No, you don't need Zagstruck because the problem with Zagstruck is it's real cool when you deep strike and charge, but you have to deep strike and you only have your power claw on the turn you charge.
No.
And the nice thing is he hits it initiative with it.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't he like initiative 4?
No.
I think he's 3. He used to be 4,
There's
but
no
then
Furious Charge buff.
they nerfed Furious Charge.
That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that one was a little unnecessary as well, I think.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
I'm sure they'll just make Horn Berserkers I5 now.
Yeah, the Chain Axe will just have +1 strength built in, and they'll have Furious Charge and AP4.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're still going to keep Rage. Oh, they're going to keep Rage. Read my copy.
No. They should still keep.
No, they totally had Rage.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you got. Oh no, they didn't. Not
No.
them. I was thinking of someone else.
No.
They're totally gonna get
3.5 book.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that book.
So, back to the FAQs. Demon Weapons or AP2. Yay for that.
Yes.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
the Blissgiver is a
Even
terrifying
Slanesh one.
machine.
This
Yes.
Slanesh one is so bad.
That guy's still strength 4, but it causes instant death with every hit, and it's AP2 at initiative 6.
So
Oh.
anything in Terminator armor or equivalent is scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just walks into that squad of Tyranid warriors, and he's like, "I really hope you guys don't have a lash whip."
Kabam.
Too bad you lost that Eternal Warrior buff you used to have.
Yes. Oh, that was a really funny thing that actually happened in the game on Wednesday.
Oh, what happened Wednesday?
So remember Mark McDonald playing against that one Tyranid player, and
Yeah.
mind shackled his
Ah, yes.
what's his?
He mind shackled the Swarm Lord. And the Swarm Lord has this wonderful special rule where every time he deals a wound, it inflicts instant death. So the Swarm Lord cut his own head off.
He committed seppuku.
That's awesome.
I
Hey
think
guys,
the Swarm
look
Lord
what
had-
I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the Swarm Lord did not take any wounds that game, so he was at full health. It was just like, yeah, it was hilarious.
Alright, so I think we're gonna break down some of our Codex FAQ change reviews just by who understands the army and who uses them.
Yeah.
So basically, whichever ones we individually cared enough to check out so far.
Yeah.
Well, I just went over the Chaos ones. Those were all the new stuff that I noticed. There isn't that much pink in the Chaos one.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, they're probably gonna
Get a new book.
Yeah, exactly. So
There's like, why would we really need to work on this?
yeah. So in the meantime, AP2 on my Slanesh Lord. I think I might try that out. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun.
So I've been checking out the Necron ones right now. A couple of the big changes that I saw were definitely that the here's one, the Wraith's or whip coils. The initiative reduction is taken at the beginning of the fight. So during the next steps, when people pile in, their initiative is not reduced. So if they weren't in base-to-base contact at the beginning of the fight, so if they move in, they're going to strike at their own initiative. So
I think that's just to avoid some rules confusion, like I pile in at initiative 4 and then I
strike
don't
at initiative.
strike at initiative 1. Well, what about the other guys that were behind me? Do they get to strike? It just clears up some confusion.
Is that in the rulebook FAQ? Do they clarify that? Because those 4 Grey Knights, I know everyone loves them, with their +2 initiative weapons that they pile in at initiative 4.
So the main rulebook has 2 FAQs regarding this. The first FAQ says that if something says you're at initiative 1, that's it, you're at initiative 1. But the second one says if you have 2 separate modifiers that both modify you to a set value, for instance, Banshee Masks and the Lash Whips, then you get to roll off.
Every time.
You roll off every time it happens to see which one you do.
Yeah.
So
So
that makes for tense games. Which is
that's
kinda
a
fun.
real make or break roll for the
Yes.
Howling Banshees if
Sure.
anyone ever uses them.
They also said that the Doom-sized Death Ray cannot hit flyers unless they're in hover or gliding mode.
Which makes sense because you didn't roll the hit and it was a template. So
Beam thing.
well they at least they defined beam as a 1 millimeter wide template.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing they did in 6th edition.
Human Text Lightning, you don't gain the benefit from stealth or shrouded from night fighting.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, GW made
But
sense.
now there's a wonderful rules debate that spawned from that saying, does that mean it lights them up like an Imperial Guard searchlight for the turn? Because it says they ignores the night but they don't get the benefits of the special rule.
Yeah, they don't get the benefits, but
So
I
I
would assume
yeah.
anything else shooting at
I
it
think
would
it's
still
just
get.
for the lightning.
It's just for the lightning.
Yeah.
Because there's no other sentences saying that, oh, other units can shoot it now without stealth stuff.
Yep, and they also said to use randomized hits, I think, to see what gets hit with the lightning.
Okay. No?
I think they mentioned that. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
I'll double check on that. Mind Shackle Scarabs. They cleared up the thing with the force weapon, so you can actually use the force weapon of quote unquote model. So, yay.
And have them stab themselves. You can have them suck their buddies' souls out.
You can have them suck their own bodies or their own soul out if they're by themselves.
And that must be really awkward. I'm gonna use all of the willpower in my soul to tear it out of my body. But where did I get that? I don't know.
It works.
And those little robot scarabs, those guys are badass.
Those little psyker scarabs, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Over the minds of the psychers.
Oh, there's some psychic power here. I'll just make him use that.
Yeah. So you should always run your librarian with a force sword just in case, and in Terminator armor. So he's immune to his own force weapon most of the time.
No, just be safe and run him with the power maul at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Power maul. That's a power maul. It's not a force weapon. No.
It's a force staff. That's
Staff.
how that works.
Okay.
Because that's how the space wolves do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like the stabs.
Anything else for the Necrons?
There's that awesome, monoliths don't get the jinx save that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, that was in the main rule book. Let's see. Nope, nothing really else. Just a couple minor things that really never came up in the games down here. Hyperface sword, replace it as a power sword and not a power weapon.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
Canatech spiders. If you take a fabricator claw, they don't get an additional attack due to no specified melee weapon rule.
Oh, okay.
Lookout sirs with entropic strike. The model that was allocated the wound is the one that loses the armor save, not the actual model that was being hit.
Okay. So you can look out, sir, and that guy loses his armor.
Yeah, the guy that did the lookout sir is the guy that's losing his armor, as opposed to, hey, I hit your captain, but this guy's taking the wound, but you still lose your armor still.
Right.
No shenanigans like that.
Okay.
And then entropic strike works on fortifications, so that building you can bring it down with scarabs.
That's pretty cool. Have you guys been using the buildings much?
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
I don't have points to spend on that.
Yeah.
I don't have the money really to buy the buildings.
Well, Ben Cromray, he's got the Fortress of Redemption. I want to see someone put that thing on the table.
I have liked the thought of putting the fortress down in the middle of your board and saying, all right, I'm going to jump onto this thing all day long and you can do nothing about it.
Yeah. That'd be great. So, when you're fighting fortifications, since most people don't do it, you guys should look up how grenades work against fortifications. So basically, everybody can throw a grenade onto the tops of fortifications instead of just one model, and that's really
Say
what? So that you get every model can throw the 8-inch grenade. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yep.
At a fortification.
At guys on top. Yeah.
Oh, guys on top.
And I think if they're inside, you get D3 auto hits because you just throw them in the slits.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really mean.
That is really cool.
So,
I am going to read up on that.
Yeah. But since people don't use them, you don't know how to counter them. But yeah, I don't play games, so I just read the book.
Yeah, because I think it was Brian when he was still down here. He wanted to run a 2,000 point list since you get 2 fortifications at 2,000 points.
Yeah.
2 force swords.
Sure.
He wanted to bring 2 Fortress of Redemptions just to a game, just for fun.
Sure.
And you don't even need any other attempts to make that game cinematic. You already did it.
Yeah. It's like 2 Fortress of Redemptions. Okay, where's the movie camera? We're looking that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys all have home crews, so you should be.
Yeah, we do. Like at least 3 or 4 of the leagues Shane ran had us able to bring a film crew who we could bring and attach to units, and basically we would roll to see if they were filming well, and then when the guy they were filming killed shit, we got more points.
You know what? I think in one of my games, if one of the coordinators down here ever runs the film crew again, I'm going to take my webcam and permanently try to attach it to my film crew.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And then just have it on the table. It's like, okay, this is what's actually happening from the film crew's point of view. And just play the game entirely like that.
Oh, and I'd give a battlefield report from that guy's perspective.
Yes.
So
we do have mics and we do have webcams.
John Hegner was the guy who came up with that idea because he watched Starship Troopers and decided that would be in 40K like the rest of Starship Troopers pretty much.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the new Starship Trooper movie that came out like a week or 2 ago?
No.
It's number 4.
Oh.
It's totally CGI too.
Okay.
But they bring it back they don't bring the voice act or the original like actors back, but they bring all the old characters back.
Rico was in. I never saw the second one. The third one was alright.
Third one was when Rico came back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was passable.
Yeah. Well, the fourth one that came out, he's actually an executive producer of the movie.
Nice.
So yeah. But it looked like I saw the trailers and it actually looks pretty badass because they actually have like the whole like suits and like jumpsuits and stuff like that.
Nice.
Casper Van Dien, right?
Yeah, Casper Van Dien. Yeah.
Appropriately science fiction-y.
Yeah, they make it like honestly, like from what I saw, it looks badass. So.
All right. You want? You can dig up a link to a trailer or something for that. We can put it in our. We can link it in the comment sections.
Yeah, there's plenty of them on YouTube, so I'll try to find one and then I'll link it on our YouTube channel, and then you can put it on the blogspot. So yeah, definitely check out the trailer. I think it's worth watching. Renting, preferably. I don't know if you necessarily want to buy a movie like that.
Yeah.
Out of all the Starship Troopers, I only own the first one, and I just watch it because it's hilarious.
Yeah. You're probably with the majority on only the first one and one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the other ones on TV specials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh god, it's so bad.
Alright, so back to the FAQs here. I'm going to talk to you guys about the Tau. There's about 4 changes in the Tau book. 2 changes are my stupid little Tau shenanigans got errated and FAQ'd out. So
that's to George to find the 2 things.
Well, that's okay because the reason I went and found those things was because they took away the target lock.
Yeah.
And they gave us the target lock back, so I'm okay without my stupid shenanigans anymore.
So they gave you back target lock?
Yeah, the target lock now acts as it did in 5th edition.
You don't even have to take a.
So you don't even have to take the morale test.
Okay.
It's
nice.
so weird. They have that rule. They have the USR built into the rule book, and they just haven't.
Like given it to you.
They haven't given it's exact. Like if you read the wording for the target lock, it's exactly the same. It's take a leadership test, shoot at something else, and there's a USR just like that in 6th edition, but no one has it.
Give them time. They haven't released a codex yet.
They're working on it.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
that should technically give you a little bit of hope. That means that your codex is probably in the works of being out within the next year or so.
Hopefully. Anyway, so they ruined a couple shenanigans. They changed Iridium armor to actually have an applicable downside. Because the way Iridium armor was worded, they did not originally errata it. So it mentioned reducing a 6-inch jump move to D6, but you didn't get a 6-inch jump move anymore. So how are you supposed to apply that debuff? Anyway, now they say you reduce the 2d6 jump move to 1d6. So Iridium armor works as intended and is
Balanced, fair.
I don't know.
Fox News.
Yeah.
Fox News.
Tonight on Dateline.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's maybe not so much of an auto take anymore for me, but I'm still going to test it out. 1d6 is a pretty big restriction now on your jump back.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, I've won a lot of games because I needed to get somewhere, and then that 12 showed up.
Yeah.
And they just turned on the rocket boosters and went.
And you can run before you do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can even run and use these after you deep strike now.
Yep.
Thanks to 6th edition, which is really nice. But
because, you know,
It makes
I don't need to pull shenanigans later to win games.
because we cost too many points to do anything else.
Yep. Devilfish.
Yeah.
Why is it 80 points?
I don't know.
All right.
Book's 10 years old.
It's 80 points.
It was still 80. It was 80 points when they came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was okay. When it came
Yeah.
out.
Back when a Rhino was 50.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, the other change that ruined some shenanigans is they specifically mentioned that even if a character buys a drone, the drone does not become a character.
Which makes absolute sense.
Makes so much sense, and that's fine with me, but it was totally arguable.
And George likes to abuse the rules.
Well, and then Josh said, no, that's stupid, and he didn't let me do it for the last 4 weeks of the league.
Oh, so you think it's to do with them?
I did it for 2 weeks, and it was amazing.
I bet.
Except for that 1 week where they precision shotted my Battlesuit Commander with Spank Tank Gun First.
Ooh.
That was not a good day.
That was an awesome day for them.
Mhm.
But the nice things the things they did give the Tau were they, again, gave back the target lock, which is great. So,
Mhm.
gonna put the target lock back into my Battlesuit squads and blow up tanks while I blow up tanks.
Yo, dog. Sounds
And
awesome.
they also changed the disruption pod, which basically did nothing because it would give a 5+ save to Skimmer. if their opponents were more than 12 away. But that
Mhm.
was the same save you got from moving, so it did nothing.
Except on the first turn.
Except on the first turn, which was okay. And I mean, for a 5-point upgrade, it seemed fine, because what if they stunned you or something?
Mhm.
They decided that wasn't good enough. So the Disruption Pod, still, for being a 5-point upgrade, gives you Shrouded if someone's shooting at you from more than 12 inches away.
That's not stealth. That's shroud.
That's
Plus
Shrouded.
two
That's right.
to cover save.
So
Two.
if somebody shoots at your skimmer that moved from more than 12 inches away, you get 3+ counter save.
Yeah.
Even better than it was in 5th edition.
Yes.
Yep, that's pretty damn good.
It's
That's really good.
pretty amazing. If
So it's
they
always
keep-
going to be on the move. There's
Yeah, so
really
if
no
they-
point
if
for it
they-
to stay stationary.
If
Yeah.
they keep that upgrade, I expect it to be 15 to 20 points.
Yeah.
Maybe 30, depending on the tank.
So yeah.
So, yeah.
The hammerhead might be seen again.
No.
Broadsides. No.
The Hammerhead still doesn't do enough damage. And by now people realize,
Skyray.
okay, maybe. At least the Skyray's cheap.
It still doesn't have AA and 40k, right? Oh,
That's why I would buy the one from the Forge World books.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I'd pay 20 points and give it AA.
Yeah.
Then hit with the marker light and shoot 6 missiles at somebody and be like, well, I hope I killed it because that was 130 points I just spent.
Hey, you still got 2 marker lights, and that's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's true. And I even
And
might
they can't
have...
be destroyed.
What?
And they can't be destroyed.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, they can.
You've been able to destroy marker lights since 5th edition. Because
Shows
they're
how much a fun attack.
their weapons. Yeah, in 4th edition, though, for people that don't know, you couldn't destroy weapons with strength less than 3. So marker lights don't have strength, so they were your opponent couldn't destroy them with weapon destroyed results. But since 5th edition, you've been able to destroy them, and in 6th edition, now they can get randomly destroyed.
Yeah.
But it gets really interesting when you think about it, because if they shoot at a Skyray and get a weapon destroyed result, the Skyray can have 12 weapons.
Yeah.
So bust out that D12.
How do you guys like the random weapon destruction? What do you think about it? Oh, you know.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
Play
Here.
some games.
I will.
Well,
I'm gonna get.
my thoughts on
Like,
random weapon destruction basically come down to this. If I already penetrated them, and I didn't roll the 4 better, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I already at least got a whole point out of this deal.
Yeah.
So, I don't... You know, I think it's alright. I don't mind it. Because vehicles don't die that much, and if you're shooting at something enough, it'll go down, so...
Mhm.
Yeah.
It seems reasonable.
I really like it on my killer cans when I run the can wall, because that means half the time they aren't destroying the weapon they want to, which is badass. Because the cans have either the Dreadnought plus combat weapon or the shooting gun, and my opponent always wants to kill one or the other, because obviously if I get in a combat weapon, he's probably either going to die or put crack grenades and multiple bombs on his both things.
It's so bad for the... It's so rough for them. Poor guys.
But the first game I used them, I got the charge. I got like an 11-inch charge on a Devastator squad with an attached Librarian. Dark Angels. They like made it through the Snapfire. Luckily, I had like 2 plasma cannons, so I didn't worry about most of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I got 1 can in combat with the Librarian, and I whiffed because he's weapon skill 5 and I had them 5s. And he was like, I bought a melt bomb for 5 points. It blows up. Kills one of the Devastators though, because that's what happens when it works for it. It kills the enemy.
Awesome.
Even when they die, they'll still take somebody down.
I think they also killed 2 of my Stormbows though.
Eh.
Because they were fighting somebody
Still
else.
worth it.
Acceptable casualties. Alright.
Let's see.
Alright.
For Chaos Demons, the Soul Devourer, the Zinch upgrade, they've said is AP3. It's not a power weapon. It actually is power sword, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fate Weaver has Soul Devourer, I do believe. So,
Alright.
people were arguing that Fate Weaver got to smack you with his staff, power staff, which
Ah,
would be
yes.
+2 strength, and
Yeah.
really mean, because he's already AP2 because he's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that anymore. Strength is user AP3. It still has that kind of weird, if you fail a leadership test after taking wounds, you suffer instant death. And it says instant death instead of removed. I think it says removed before. Well, I could be wrong. I don't have my Chaos Demons book in front of me. Not much else in terms of changes in the Demon book. They say if you're taking them as allies or as an ally detachment, only demons get to split up and do demonic assault. It's not too groundbreaking there. Some FAQs on the wonderful Chariots of Zinch. I bought one of and haven't used yet, so I'm not going to go into those. I don't know how they work. I think for 40 points they're pretty cool, but it'd be cooler if I had 9 of them or 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's expensive. And I can't afford it.
They're pretty scary. I played a game against them.
Yeah. Oh, your cow. Of course they're scary. They're lawnmowers. They're like fire wars. We can eat those. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Naked only glances on 6s when we charge.
I'm just scared to try to handle that model with how many spiky bits it has on it. Just to stab yourself or to break something off real easy.
They're not too pokey, so they're not like spearmen.
Yeah.
But it's just the one model on top with the whips that is just going to break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool to put them together because they don't sit flat on the base until you're pretty much done with them.
Yeah.
You put the steeds on. So it's interesting to put together a model that isn't sitting flat as you're putting it together.
Yeah.
So as I put together most models in the GW line, it's different. So boy, there's a lot of extra parts you get.
Lots of bits.
There's actually 3 things you can build with that kit.
Wow.
What?
Neat.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
I think
there's a line about if the chaos icons work if you have allied demons, and it says yes if it refers to all friendly units. And so I'm like, yes, look in front of me. I don't know.
I believe
I would hope that it does mean that, but it's kind of a weird way to answer it.
I think it works like this, because I talked with Mr. Kyle, who we had on last week, a little early today, and he said that the Chaos Demons icons say all friendly units, and the Chaos Space Marines icons do not.
So that's why the Chaos Demons one costs 5 times as many points?
Probably.
Okay.
But what's nice is that means if you take Chaos Demons and you ally Chaos Space Marines and only take Chaos
icons?
Yeah, no, you take the Chaos Demons from the Space Marine Chaos Space Marine book.
Right, the cheap ones?
The cheap ones, yeah, those just drop right down. No problem.
Okay. Those are probably going to go in the new book, so you can actually just ally.
Oh, yeah. They'd expect you to just ally with demons.
I think that means that when the new book comes out, there will be no more possession of greater demons in your champions. Which is...
I don't know, that seems a little too flavorful for them to take out.
Right, exactly. So I'm kind of worried that's going to go away. But
I kind of hope it doesn't.
If there's that crazy chart that they're talking about where when you win a challenge or kill a tank or whatever, you roll and see what happens. Maybe it's just
turns into a demon prince.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I know as a chaos player for more than half my life now, I have a few extra demons around just in case that happens. Yeah. And some spawn just in case. Because apparently if you win a challenge, you might just turn into a spawn now.
Neat.
I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing.
That Chaos Sorcerer looks at his new armor and is like, I never asked for this gift.
Yeah.
It's like,
why?
Why? I didn't want feathers there.
So, yeah. Continuing on.
Alright, so taking a look at the Space Marine fact here.
Space Marines, what are those?
Yeah, I know.
I thought they only had Terminator armor these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple of things. The chaplain's reroll to hit rule only affects Space Marines and not anybody else that he might be attached to. So no 50-man blob squads for the chaplain running around going, wow. Tech Marines, for some reason they had to relist the bolster defense thing for Tech Marines. But I think it was mostly determining on when you actually bolstered defenses. So it's after deployment, but before scout redeployments and infiltrate deployments.
Yeah.
And then
interesting, in the Grey Knight FAQ, it says piece of terrain rather than movement like it does in the Space Marine mode.
Oh, interesting.
So Grey Knights, apparently, their Tech Marines are more badass and can, bolster forests.
Well, if they want to bolster that Mind Leech forest, more power to them.
Yeah, if they're going to go...
what kind of forest it is,
yeah.
until a little bit later. Oh, wait, no, your league, you figured it out beforehand, right?
No, we...
You hop in and then you figure it out.
We started playing it just straight book.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, if they want to go into that forest, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere until you go there.
I have had the worst luck with the mysterious forests. The other stuff that's random, it's okay, but it's always either nothing happens or it explodes or whatever, with the bad one, the one.
Alright, I've got a story about that, because in my last league game, I played against demons, and we decided to just go nuts with this, with the terrain setup, because I had found this bridge that had it was like a double bridge.
It was a double bridge.
So I wanted to put 2 rivers into our map. And then we ran out of the red river of blood, so we just put like a chaos shrine, and then we had a green river coming out the other end.
Nice.
So we basically ran it as 3 separate rivers.
Yeah, they had a normal river which was blue, so they had
We-
blue, red, and
And so we had a cool little thing where if you walked up on the bridge and looked over the side, you could see what kind of river it was without falling in it.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
So the first river I walked into, and I roll a 1. So this is the green river, and 1 is it's not anything bad, it just smells bad.
Right.
Which makes sense for a green river.
Yeah.
Sort
Yeah.
of. And then my opponent, who was playing demons, deep strikes into the blue river, and he rolls a 6. And we're like, whoa, shit, a 6. What's that gonna do? 6 is
Firewall or the
Ice
first one?
Blood,
Yeah.
which lets you reroll armor saves. And he's playing demons.
so he's like,
Awesome.
crap.
I mean, we just break out laughing there for 5 minutes. And then it happens, he rolls a 6 for the red river when he walks into it. So I never make it to either of those rivers. So while they technically did something, none of them actually did. Then we had a
You didn't
forest.
have any flamers or screamers? Because they actually have armor saves in the White Dwarf update.
Really? The
Yeah.
flamers have armor save?
5+,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
They
5
get
of armor
both.
and 5. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think he realized that. I'll tell him that.
Yeah.
And then we had a mysterious forest, and we got the punch yourself forest,
Awesome.
Yeah.
which was really cool when the Fate Lever deep struck into it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he punched himself,
Did he get
and
scared
then
and run away?
no, he passed his saves,
No.
and then survived 36 wounds for running away on the second one.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Fucking Fate Lever.
That guy, dude. I don't know. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Necessary.
I mean, I'll get to that a little bit more during the battle report.
Yeah. Really nothing too big. I mean, just a lot of clarifications. Sicarius's Tempest Blade is counted as a power sword. Tigurius's Rod of Tigurius is a master-crafted force staff. Shrike can only infiltrate models that come out of the Space Marine Codex. So no infiltrating like other Space Marines from different other codexes.
That's probably good. 'Cause
Yeah.
he'd probably infiltrate with 50-man blob squad. Just
Yep.
to be a bitch.
It's like, hey, this 50-man blob squad is right here. Yeah. Oh, and here is the commissar that goes with it.
So, you run blob squads in your IG, right?
Yeah, I actually picked up more Vestroians from George's cousin, and so I'm able to run a lot of blob squads, which is kind of cool.
How do you arm the sergeants in this case?
I usually, well, before the 4/6 edition, because I haven't played it so far, but in 5th edition, I used to run them just a normal power weapon on the sergeants, power weapon on the commissar.
15 power weapon attacks when you charge this squad.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Scary as
so
shit.
power weapon sergeants, still good. Not too sure how it works now since you can precision strike the sergeants out.
Commissar. I've seen a lot of people.
I've
seen 2 guard players running 2 commissars in the blob squad.
2 commissars?
because you don't want them to precision strike your commissar out, and your blob squad's like, oh shit, we lost combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's bad news right there.
We're leadership 8.
I was thinking, like, for me, for how I was going to be running, I was like, I just have the sergeants with the power weapons, and I'd still maybe run 1 commissar, but instead of having the commissar running in the front with the rest of the squad, he'd be chilling in the back.
Yeah.
And then just be kind of like, okay, he's not going to get in base-to-base combat.
Oh, precision strike, if there's no challenges involved, or there's more than 1 character, there's no range on precision strike. So,
In combat,
in
yeah.
combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very nice, that's for sure.
Alright, so I'm going to have to rethink that strategy. But, yeah.
So, and also, you get all kinds of different
I
power.
don't know,
weapon
man. You have
options, right?
5 sergeants. I think I'd still roll with it like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power weapon attacks.
Well, commissar can
And I mean, the
too.
sergeants can precision strike too.
That is true.
Right
Yeah.
back at them. So, the power axes, of course, on the sergeants, not bad.
That is
Strength 4,
true.
AP2,
Wow.
pretty good.
I thought it was strength 5.
They're
Because-
strength 2.
Strength-
Plus, oh, it's only
Power
plus
axe.
1?
It's
I
plus
thought
one.
it was plus 2. Oh, it's Space Wolf 1 is plus 2.
Yeah.
Right.
You can give them the power models, of course, and then the strength 5, but only people.
Yeah.
It's mean to Gene Stealers, but Gene Stealers aren't going to fight that squad anyway.
They'll die to get
Yeah.
shot at first.
Yeah.
Maybe the Blue Lord.
It's like, we're going to charge in. I was like, okay, so Snapfire 50 las guns.
Yeah.
Which is 100 shots almost.
Holy cow. Anything else in the guard book?
Well, the Space Marine book.
I mean the Space Marine book. Shoot,
That I've been reading.
we're talking about
guards.
I know.
guard sergeants and shit.
Stern Guard vets can't use their special ammo on Storm Bolters. I don't know who was going to try to pull that, but apparently they had to clarify that.
Why not?
I don't know.
It doesn't bother me.
If it works for heavy bolters, why doesn't it work for storm bolters?
Heavy
I
bolters
could have
don't
swore they added that.
Only
Okay.
normal bolters get the special ammo.
Never
Bolters,
mind.
bolt pistols, and contracts. Yes.
Heavy bolters, the Scout Heavy Bolter has an option for a special round, but besides that, nobody else does. The Relic Blade, they actually officially made it a Strength 6 AP3 weapon, melee two-handed, and they clarified something with the Storm Talon that's saying that when it does its little escort move, or if it escorts something on, if you have multiple units that is like together that come in as a group, you only still can have one per group.
Yeah.
So that way you can't have a blob squad come in with all three of your escorting.
You can't combat squad.
Yeah.
essentially.
Your combat
You can't
squad.
do what Doug was trying to do. So it was the tactic where you have a scout squad and a land speeder storm, and then have a Storm Talon,
Talons.
2 Storm Talons
Yeah.
escorting the squad and the thing. So you can't have them both come in at something. It can only be one.
Doug, you're a cheeky bastard.
I thought it was cool, just having just like 3 things come off the side and just go, and have guys just jumping out.
It's cool.
It's very
I'm just thinking
cinematic.
of Doug.
Doug is, that was pretty cool. Now they killed that, and I'm kind of sad. Yeah. So besides that, I mean, everything else, I mean, not much in Space Marine Codex, because there's really nothing too big to change. It was just making it more in line with 6th edition, which is what it needed to be. I'm still going to take Marnius Calgar and try to get in close combat with one Chaos player who's taking Abaddon.
Okay.
I want to see it.
Alright,
Abaddon,
so.
AP3? What?
Yep. So we got the Dark Eldar next, and for any of you who don't know, I've also gotten Dark Eldar Army, and I'm thinking about playing those guys next league, since I gave my Tau a good run, and they seem to be doing really good, and I don't want people getting used to playing the Tau, because I need to win with them.
Yes. I really hope I don't play you in the next league, if I'm running my 6 monoliths.
Oh, against the Dark Eldar. Oh, wow.
Fuck your
That would be
pipelines.
bad.
So is it Dark
Oh,
Eldar
God.
or is it Dark Eldar?
I'm thinking about taking some Kroot mercenary allies that I've converted to be Eldar Pathfinders and a Varseer.
I figured there's going to be some fortune in there somewhere.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about it. I'm not sure about it.
It's so good. It's hard
If
not
I
to.
actually want it for the guide.
Okay. But you can take that with most items. That's
Yeah.
just divination.
Yeah.
And it's
But
better.
Dark Eldar don't have Psychers.
Shut up. You and your detail. Take a different army. It's good.
It's fine.
But
Necrons-
no, if I take any other army, they're not Battle Brothers, so they can't guide.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Necrons don't have Battle Brothers either, and we don't have Cyphers
So
either.
for the big changes for the Dark Eldar are basically they gave you ways to hurt Terminators in close combat. So they made the Incubi AP2, so that way your Incubi are supposed to be like your anti-Terminator unit. And I mean they're still bad at it because they still have like toughness 3 and no invul save, but at least you've got something to throw at the Terminators. And then they've also changed what was it? Oh, they changed. Where'd he go? I'll talk about the other stuff before I find it. So the other stuff was basically bringing the Harlequins in line with the Codex Eldar ones. So they've got their own special stealth and shrouded bullshit. I think it was like that before, but they must have changed the wording or something. Oh, and that's it. They made it so you can buy the Husk Blade for your Archon or whoever your leader is, and the Husk Blade's an AP2 weapon, so it gives you, as a Dark Eldar player, a way to get AP2 onto your close combat monster guy. But Vect is your close combat monster guy. Mr. Vect is stuck with a 3+, AP3 close combat weapon, but he still gets preferred enemy everyone, and he still gets to reroll wounds against everyone, I believe. Or maybe that's just Eldar, I'm not sure. The rest of the stuff's pretty straightforward. I don't think I really need to list it out, except for the fact that they clarified that if you use your enhanced Aether Sails, you totally can go flat out afterwards. So the Dark Eldar carry the torch of going really fucking fast
Yes.
in 40k. They are
Because
the
you know
kings
your
of
jet
that.
bikes weren't good enough.
Oh well,
Your vehicle's got to keep up.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you send an escort raider with them.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? What good is that without the dark lance there too?
Yeah. So one thing I noticed about the new edition, since 2 of the deployment zones, they're very deep, so the Imperial Guard artillery have been very popular because now your Basilisk with its minimum range 36, I guess, maybe, it's really far in the back and doesn't get shot at because it's so far away that people don't have range to the damn thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because you have the triangle deployment and then the fighting long ways across tables, so being able to move really fast like Eldar is pretty cool because you actually get back there.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that could be a problem for some armies.
Yeah, but you have railguns, so you don't care.
Yeah. Railguns goes fast.
But Imperium, they don't actually
they got
over 48 much.
Yeah, you got to stick with the missiles and the las cannons.
Missiles, las cannons.
You know, I've been surprised. I was expecting to see a lot more las cannons, but people are still pretty missile launcher heavy from what I've seen.
Missile launchers are cheap. Devastators aren't going to switch. Maybe tax bullets.
I think there's actually one unit in the Space Marine Codex that actually would like fighting the long ways, and that's the Tech Marine with a conversion beamer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, you can actually make good use of the far shot, which is kind of cool.
So I don't know. I want to see more Whirlwinds. Whirlwinds are cool.
I think they should give Whirlwind some kind of anti-flyer thing.
That's the rumor that they're going to get it.
Yeah, and that'll make people take Whirlwinds.
Oh yeah.
I really think what I would like to see in the Space Marine Codex, if they decide to redo it, is add the one special rule that they have for APOC, where you can have land speeders spotting for your whirlwinds, so you can extend the range, which I think would be actually really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy it as a group.
Appropriately cinematic.
And as I was saying, the distances are longer now, so
yeah, it makes it more appropriate. So you have your land speeder shooting out, whirlwind sitting in the back, and land speeders calling in shots for you.
Yeah,
it's like a game I play, which I cannot talk about.
It's just cool, and 40K should be cool above all else, right? I think.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Anything else about those Dark Eldar?
No, that was it for the Dark Eldar. I'm kind of paging through the Eldar Codex.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's too many real big changes here.
Well, I figure with the Eldar Codex, I mean, Eldar is one of the older codexes.
Yeah.
In 40K right now too, so I would assume that they would be getting a revamp sometime soon, hopefully.
Hopefully, they need it.
Yeah, they need it. Because out of everybody, I think it's Cal, Eldar.
Cal is the oldest, and then it goes Eldar.
Because Eldar do not like hull points. Because their invincible tanks are no longer invincible.
Unfortunately, 6th edition has hit Eldar extremely hard. And they're pretty much. I have not seen anyone playing Eldar.
Eldar tanks. I bet Reese is doing just fine with this Footdar.
Yeah, Footdar, I think.
Especially because I'm pretty sure he's running Dark Eldar allies.
Yeah, but I think the problem Footdar is going to run into is Footdar used to really have this big advantage that it was counter to the metagame. People were bringing high-strength single-shot guns, and Footdar was like, "That's too bad. You're killing Guardians."
Yeah.
But now, especially with the ability to precision shot. To focus fire guys outside of cover into precision shot important characters. I think the metagame's just going to change a bit to where people will have the flak firepower to deal with the Footdar. And and so I think Footdar is still going to do well, but I think it's going to be a lot harder just because people will be more prepared for it tangentially,
Yeah. Well, I mean, with any edition, I mean, there's going to be slight changes or major changes to how people make their armies, just because of the meta changes. So, I think Reese, really good general normally. So I figure minor tweaks here and there with allies or just with other models in the codex.
Oh, actually, I just found something really important in the the Eldar update. Dark Eldar allies do not count as Eldar for the Farseer Psychic Powers Fortune Guide.
That's awesome.
So if you want to get that armor reroll,
that's really hard.
You gotta,
Nearly impossible.
Isn't it? I think there's one on the telekinesis that gives you that, or one of the psychic powers gives you rerolls on armor.
It's the caster only.
Only the caster. Oh.
Oof. Yep. I think. Pretty sure.
Oh well.
So we'll look it up later.
That's the end of that.
That was too mean anyway. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
2+ invul with the rerolls a bit much.
That's true.
Yeah. 3-up invul was hard enough, but 2-up?
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure
add a reroll
sure
into
it'll
it?
happen.
That's just wrong.
And then there's a couple other things for when you can use X-Arc powers and things during Overwatch. Basically, yes, you can. And yeah,
Oh, Disruptor.
you can't use the Destructor, and
You cannot?
you cannot use a Destructor when Overwatching.
Really?
Hmm.
I guess it's because it's technically a psychic power, and they wanted to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
it was because they wanted to nerf Eldar or anything. I don't think Eldar needed help with that.
Right.
No.
But yeah, that's really it. Everything else makes sense pretty much. Except, yeah, everything else pretty much makes sense.
Sense.
So,
Yeah, those are the noteworthy ones.
along the lines of your Tau FAQ, in the Forge World FAQs, the Titan Hollow Field saves give Shrouded, I do believe, for Eldar.
Ooh, that'll be nice.
So if Hollow Fields in general switch to that as well, that would probably make a lot of sense for Eldar. Just have the Jink put the +2 on top of it.
Yeah,
I mean, that just would
that would
feel
that would
Eldar-y.
feel Eldar-y,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hmm?
And it'd make Vipers actually take that 35 point upgrade.
Maybe.
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 Yeah.
I don't know. That's 35 points on a 60-point tank.
I'm sure they'll go down a bit. God, I
Fair
would hope
enough.
So. Yeah. Maybe even have those as your 4. Probably not. Stupid Eldar.
Oh, they did change star engines a little bit. And star engines just give you an extra 6-inch movement if you're moving flat out in the shooting phase. So you get to go 24 instead of 18 in the shooting phase.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not extra 12 though.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, are you
All
done with your damn elves?
Yeah,
George?
I'm done. Well, I hate the psychic elves. Man, screw those guys.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys ever heard that, but I think everyone can agree that the Eldar are a little fruity. And the way to fix that is to take away half their clothes and add leather stripes and spikes.
So you're
That
into
makes most
the
things better, I do believe.
you're
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
dominatrix.
I'm just noting, I'm noting a trend. That's all.
Leather biker scene.
I'm going to change topics and go to the Orc FAQ.
Alright, sounds good.
So,
What do the boys got for us, Shane?
they clarified that trucks, when they suffer and explode or get reduced to 0 hull points because of hull points, then you roll a ramshackle table. Some people were arguing that becoming wrecked as by hull points, or because it's not vehicle explodes, it just explodes, that you didn't get to roll on ramshackle anymore. So that's clarified. So you roll on ramshackle, which is awesome because ramshackle explodes in strength 3, which is way better than strength 4.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody
Yeah.
else has to do.
Well, I mean, you're open top, so it's strength 3 anyway. Oh, did open top go to strength 4 and 6?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It sure did.
My Eldar
Maybe-
don't like that.
Maybe George isn't going to play Dark Eldar next
I'm
week.
still gonna run them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy Shadow Fields.
You could also
Or Night Shield.
There's
Night
this,
Shield.
there's
that's
this
it.
awesome concept that Dark Eldar players are about not being in the vehicle. It's actually pretty good.
I don't believe you.
You don't?
No.
All right. Because it's true.
I mean,
You
as
can
much.
have like dark lances on the guys, and then they could be in terrain and get 3 or 2+ cover. It's not bad.
Okay,
It's
all
not
right.
bad.
It's not bad.
And there's generally objectives on your side of the table that they can hold.
Yeah.
Usually.
Usually. So, but
Fucking
it-
relic mission.
I'd rather not be in the
you're not going to care
Taking
about the
time
relic
bomb.
mission with your Dark Eldar. Unless
No.
you go second, and then you're going to hate it.
Yeah. That being
So-
said, even though Danny's not here, I'm going to talk about his tournament for him. I really do like the idea he has to have a relic mission with 3 relics
yes.
instead of 1. And we ran it with 2.
Wasn't that your idea on the podcast, and then he just went with it?
Yeah, let's go with that. It makes me sound cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds more important.
I think actually you suggested that it's just routes, but then we changed
Yeah.
it. Anyway, so back to the orcs.
And then the relics explode and they shoot you
Right,
and
yeah,
you're really playing
mysterious
drugs.
relics. They gave tank hammers and each chop of AP its dash, which makes me sad. I was hoping that,
Tang hammers are AP dash?
yeah, I was hoping that since
That
it's
makes
a freaking
absolute-
rocket on a stick, that it would be AP3, which
There's-
would make it a power weapon, which definitely wasn't before, and would definitely make it worth more than the 0 points you pay for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, because they gave those wonderful flash gets, they changed get finders instead of you can pre-measure, because you can just do that with everybody,
hmm
that they ignore cover now with their AP D6 weapons, which is pretty awesome.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, so Not that I think Josh Haywood has flash kits. I
I've
don't have
never
any.
seen. He's been using his guard, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was kind of hoping Orcs would get some additional awesome buff. Also, Glory Hogs, they changed that to where you don't have to shoot at tanks if they're out of range, which is freaking amazing. So
Yes.
you can shoot at Marines if there's no Rhinos in range. Marines don't like that.
No, they don't like taking straight cane.
AP3, also bad.
Yes.
Gazgul, when you call the law, he turns things are slow and purposeful, like, Naganobs. They exchange that rule for Relentless, which is pretty cool. And you don't have to charge your terrain. You probably will anyway. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not much pink in here. Burners are AP3. That makes sense. It'd be kind of cool if you could just choose which kind of weapon it was.
Yeah.
Just they had more than 2 settings. They had like 4. That'd be great.
You use a smash attack on my Burners.
Yeah, right.
Smash attack. It's like hotter.
Can't use bomb squigs on flyers that are zooming.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's not nearly fun enough.
The bomb squig can rocket jump with its own dynamite.
Yes.
I mean,
I liked, I forgot who it was, but they were like a football theme one where they just have an orc modeled like he's kicking a field goal, and then he has a squig in front of him.
Yeah. They clarified that the Def Roller's AP is dash and that you can take saves against it. So that's cool. And
It's
cover
AP
saves. Cover
oh.
saves. You can take cover saves against the Def Roller.
Mm-hmm.
Same
Which-
one?
Yeah. Because it's not really a close combat attack, just kind of.
It's just sort of
Wow.
like one.
Yeah.
And they made it AP dash now?
Yeah, it was AP dash.
It was AP.
Okay.
Well,
Actually,
it didn't
no,
say AP
no.
dash because that would be less damage on vehicles.
In,
Now it
fifth,
Yeah, yeah.
in 5th edition.
In 5th edition, yeah,
Yeah.
because it was just a strength 10 and you just rolled it normally. So
Yeah.
with the AP dash, it actually makes it a little bit weaker against.
Not really. In 6th edition, they removed the AP dash debuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, it's just like something normal.
Yeah.
Except now you'll probably kill it with hull points and wreck it, so you won't run it over. So it's hard for the Def Roller to kill a bunch of things in one turn.
But honestly, it was probably a little overpowered in the last edition. That
A
was
smidge.
most of what you saw were players taking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Now that it can go even faster.
Yeah. It's gonna make Doug Johnson really unhappy, but you can't. I think my laptop just died. Yep, there it goes. You can't use the grab a claw or the wreck ball against flyers.
Or the boarding plank.
Or the boarding plank.
So that's too bad because that was awesome, and
No.
the imagery of that was cool, but it doesn't make any sense.
Nah, the way Doug's been using his boys is he has guarded his main army, and he takes
Orc allies.
orc allies with a burner truck, burner battle wagon, and then knob bikers.
Yeah.
That is something that.
Non-bikers are pretty much the troop choice of all allies. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Generally,
Unless they're
unless you need them
It's
for
a-
a different purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a solid unit. I
It's
mean,
more than solid.
It's
It's
just-
really damn good.
Well,
Yeah.
It
now
got
it's
a little bit of a nerf.
it's really fair now, especially with precision strike. I
Yeah.
think the unit's extremely fair now.
Okay.
okay.
Like, it's a million bajillion points. Just precision strike out the pain boy and shoot him to death.
Is Painboy a character?
None of them are characters
None of them?
now.
Okay.
Just the boss.
Okay.
And even with the boss, you can't spread the wounds around anymore. You got to hit the closest guy.
Right. That's not bad. Cool.
So yeah, I mean, there are other FAQ updates.
None that I'm willing to look into
I don't
because it's
think-
armies that
Yeah.
should.
If we
Unfortunately,
didn't talk about your army, you're stupid and you should stop playing it.
either that or you
Black
should
Templars.
give someone a phone call down here that represents your army and tell them to beg us to put them on the podcast because we still do need a 4th host and we're still doing some interviews for it.
Yes.
And I guess at this rate we might need a 3rd host, Danny.
Danny.
But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Probably not very good for Danny.
Well, I mean, Danny's going to be joining the army anyways, so, I mean, that was already in the future that we're going to need a replacement host.
He needs it.
Yeah. But, I mean, with how the segments are going, I'm thinking that we're probably just going to have 3 main hosts and then just try to bring in a guest host every week.
Okay.
If we can.
Yeah.
So, Skype
Cool.
in.
All right, and just as a tangential note, guys, our really awesome segment Rules Lawyers that we were talking about last week, yeah,
Thanks,
they kind of
DW.
answered all our fucking questions. So we're gonna need to wait to see if the internet makes more angry
controversy.
questions.
So
Knowing the internet, I'm sure they will.
yeah,
But I'm
Internet,
not sure.
that's your job.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna be relevant enough for us to have the segment. So
Yeah.
we'll get back to you guys on that one.
It would have been
Hopefully,
really cool.
if there's a whole bunch more, then GW puts out another round of FAQs kind of quick.
I know.
Yeah.
That was really fast.
I was really happy about this. I mean, this was 1 month,
Yeah,
month and a half.
it was really quick.
I was actually playing tournaments because there's too much arguing going on.
Argument phase was
Yeah.
a little longer than it
This-
should have been.
Yeah,
This
and
really answers.
I'm already,
Yeah.
kind of slow because I haven't played too many 6th edition games, so
Yeah.
figured it wasn't worth it yet.
I mean,
But
this.
now,
Yeah.
it's getting pretty close to being a nice solid rule set, which is good because
Yeah.
I like solid rule sets.
Yeah.
What was that? What's that game that has the lawyer in it?
It
He's
has.
He's in,
what?
he's in Ultimate Marvel right now too.
Oh yeah, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
The
So-
Phoenix Wright series.
That'd be kind of cool to have our debates like that.
If you do that, I will get you the objection sound clip, and the take that sound clip, and the dramatic music.
Yes.
I will do all of that for you because I love the Phoenix Wright
So
games.
internet, get on it, find some controversies so we can make this happen. Besides that, I think that's it. We beat this dead horse as far as I want to beat it because I'm done
Yeah.
looking at facts.
Sure.
Yeah, basically, Games Workshop killed the rules, and then we just came and started examining the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, I can keep talking about this analogy,
No.
and then we'll have beaten this one to death.
No,
it's okay.
Thanks, though.
All right. So Shane actually wanted to bring up the topic about psychic powers.
Yeah, so I really like the new psychic power system so when you choose psychic powers, a lot of you've already set the board, you know deployment zones, and then you get to choose what these guys do. So as opposed to pretty much any other thing that you have to do it during army list creation, you get to choose it afterwards and you get to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I've seen a lot of people actually when they write up their lists, they write down which disciplines they're going to use. And if you're going to do something defensive, you're going for divination for the rerolls, that's fine.
Yeah.
But really, you don't have to limit yourself like that. You can go, oh wait, I don't need that against this opponent. I need to go pyromancy because it works and I don't have enough horde firepower, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been playing some Chaos Guard with Primary Psychers, so they get a pretty good selection and they're not close combat, so there's not the obvious I'm going to go Biomancy and try and get the Iron Arm, which is pretty badass, not gonna lie. I'm sure Tyranids are going crazy over that.
They love it.
Yeah.
Especially when the Swarm Lord trades in all 4 of his psychic powers to try to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? 4? That's me.
He gets all 4 of the... Yeah, he's even Mastery level 2, so if you get it early, you can go into Telepathy and try and make shit invisible.
Damn. So one thing in the main rulebook FAQ that's really cool is when you're resolving witch fire spells with a unit that has also normal shooting, you get to choose which order they're resolved in.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. It doesn't really say what happens if you have more than one Psyker. But, so here's the nasty combo that people use. You take a Primary Psyker with Telepathy, and he takes the first one, which is the Psychic Shriek, which is like the Doom of Malonpai.
Mm-hmm.
3d6 minus your leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And you put him in with a Psyker Battle Squad, and he goes, your leadership too, because minus 9 leadership we can resolve. So, I haven't looked at the rulebook FAQ close enough to see what happens, but you might be able to put the Primary Psyker in that squad directly, because the way it worked before, since you resolved shooting simultaneously, you couldn't have him with those guys.
Ooh, that is a dirty trick.
So now you might be able to put him in that same squad, which would be even nastier, because at least it required a little hand waving to make it work properly.
Yeah.
Before, but now maybe not.
The only problem is he's got to get within 12.
Yeah. Whatever. Put him in the squad with
And-
veterans with melta guns,
And you're, well...
Yeah.
because that's what I was doing, and it worked pretty well.
But then your opponent also has 2 chances to deny the witch on that. They get the 6 up to
for
opponent.
each power. Yeah,
They get 1 shot for each one.
Second
and
sure still good without that.
Fair enough.
Too. It's not bad. So
pretty good power.
yeah, and rumors are the Chaos Marines are going down by 1 leadership in all regards.
They're gonna go down by 1 of these?
Yeah,
So they're gonna go
same
to-
leadership as normal Marines,
8 and
8?
9 for the sergeants.
Yep.
Ah.
but they're going to be like 13 points apiece.
Yes, I inflict the curse of lower leadership upon the game. Feel my pain.
And everyone knows it's better for the game because leadership doesn't play during the floor.
Yeah,
It
and that
doesn't.
way, precision
doesn't.
shotting out sergeants and squads is going to be really common, and I think it's actually really cool because you're like, all right, kill the guy with the flag.
And yeah, everyone knows Chaos Icons. That guy's not happy because he has to hold the fucking icon.
That guy's
It's scary.
He's hiding in the back. He's like, oh
Yeah.
god, please don't shoot me.
And if the rumors are true, you can mark the squad and give them an icon for double buffs. Yeah.
That's
wow. Tough 6 regular Marines.
Well, the rumor is that you can buy them a marker Nurgle and an icon, and they can get +1 toughness and the feel no pain. They're not going to be as good as Plague Marines, and they're going to be almost as expensive. But you can do it.
But you can take like 20 of them.
Right, yeah.
You can't mix marks and things like that, can you?
No, we don't know.
Okay. I hope they don't.
They listed out the 4 marks and the 3 icons. They didn't say which one was which. They just said the different effects. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That would be kind of.
Can be.
It's like, hey,
Cool.
this is a Nurgle Slaneshi Chaos Marine.
One would hope that that's not.
Yeah.
So,
Shane has notes.
Oh
I have
man,
notes and stuff.
so much more prepared than us.
so
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, we kind of do like all our intro stuff like last minute.
On the fly.
So
I'm doing hand motions for the people who are watching it.
That is true. We do have camera, and George is making the motions.
So one of the things that's really cool about a Primaris Psyker is that he gets 2 powers and he's master level 1.
Okay,
So
that's good.
on telepathy, I think I'm just kind of winging this now. My notes are all they're hard to read. So there's two results that are they're warp charge 2.
Right.
So you get 2 rolls on the chart, and there's only 4 possibilities that you can actually roll. So there's a pretty good chance you're going to get what you want there.
50-50. No, better than 50-50.
Right,
actually.
and then you can ditch one of those for the normal one.
Right.
So that's actually a really good rule set to go for if those powers are something that are going to hurt your opponent. Telekinesis, on the other hand, there's only warp charge 1 on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually more random if you only are master level 1 to go for that. So take into consideration master level of the guy if you're only master level 1 because it's easier to get what you want on some of the charts because invisibility is cool, but if you can't use it, use that to your advantage rather than going, I'm Imperial Guard and I don't get master level 2.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah. And they're only 70 points, so Primaris Psykers are pretty badass. Not as cheap as the Grey Knight Inquisitors, which are 55 points for master level 1 guy, but they only get 1 roll on the chart because they have to trade in Hammerhand for it. But honestly, who cares about Hammerhand? You get that everywhere in the Grey Knight.
Yeah.
So, and they can get divination, and the one you can just choose to take is reroll all hits, and that's in shooting and in close combat. And that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Grey Knights love that.
Yeah, and so the sneaky combo that because I've been rocking guard with Grey Knight allies for my Chaos Guard because I like the henchmen, and people can suck if they don't like me playing Grey Knights and don't have any guys with power armor in there. But you can take Inquisitorial Servitors with multi-melts for 10 points. And snap firing those at a flyer with rerolls means you're going to hit with one of them at 24-inch range on the move, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, But if your Inquisitor ever dies, then you have to roll 4+ your squad can't overshoot. So it's kind of dangerous to take those guys.
Yeah.
But it's fun. One of the guys I saw playing Grey Knights, he took henchman squad of 3 guys, 30 points, Inquisitorial Servitors, 3 heavy bolter guys. Just let them sit on an objective. They work half the time, so you can mind lock them. It was pretty cool. I like
it. 30 points? That's
30
not
points.
a bad deal.
30 point
3
objective.
heavy bolters or 3 multi-meltas. And they can still go to ground even if they don't get the mind lock. If they're just drawing on themselves, they can still fall over and hide. So there you go. I guess I should actually read my notes. So since you can take since you get to roll twice, the master level 1 spells you can try for Puppet Master, right? Puppet Master is one of the great telepathy powers. It's a focus twitch fire spell. So if you roll 5 or less for your second test, you get to choose who it affects. So that's okay. When I was using it against an orc player, I rolled it and it got through on his big mech with a Burna, shoot a scorcher, one of those one-shot flamer things.
Oh man!
And in the middle of the unit, in the back of the orcs, flamer appears. That was great.
Nice.
But that's not reliable at all. Puppet Master really is for using your opponent's vehicles or something like Obliterators, where everybody in the unit has a very powerful shooting attack. Broadsides.
You can take control of my shield drum, bro.
Oh, sure. Sorry. Yeah. But so Puppet Master sounds cool, but I've seen a lot of people be very disappointed with it when their opponent doesn't have something that is useful to use it on, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're like, I'm going to use it on your flyer. Like, well, you can't turn my flyer, so go ahead, because you can shoot your own guys with that if you want to. So it's not as cool as it sounds. There's, let's see, Dominate. I'm going to open up my rulebook now because I had just named the powers. So there's also Terrify, which means you get to make somebody not fearless anymore. That's also great with
That's
the Imperial
really
Guard.
cool.
Yeah.
We can resolve your leadership 2. You're not fearless, and I'm gonna tank shock you with my Chimera.
I think that
So-
John had that pulled on him. I think yesterday in his game
Wow.
with his rates.
Oh,
Danny took that
Yeah.
Terrify rule with
Yeah.
his chaos and was just like, hey, lose fearless.
yeah. I'm not too keen on my demons like running away and stuff at some point, but it'll happen. Let's see.
Yeah.
There's also
wow.
Misfortune on Divination. That's a badass one. That's reroll successful saves.
That one is so good.
So if you're going spamming on, inquisitorial inquisitors, right? You're going to roll on the chart. If you get something you don't really like, you can go, I'm going to reroll everything. But if you get that one or cover saves with some really nasty units, it's pretty damn good. Because as I was saying before, covers can be really hard to get infantry out of. So if you can cover saves or make them reroll them, it's really powerful, and I've seen it win games. So, because especially against guard, I saw one of the guys I played, Zach. He took 20-man blob squad, put him in a building. If I shot at him, they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna go to ground," and then boss man over to the right's like, "Get back into the fight order," and then they're not even going to ground anymore. So I was like, I'm not gonna get rid of that squad unless I charge it. I didn't make a fast table because orcs got shot by a whole bunch of templates. And
Yep.
it was bad news. And then I tried to charge Chimera, and then they burned me from inside it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was great, though. He shot me with his Colossus, because everyone has to have a Colossus on guard, right?
Yeah.
And it scattered 11 inches, hit that Chimera with the Flamer guys in it, so they can't shoot at all, and then I charged it. And I surrounded it.
Awesome.
And then they got out on the second floor of the building I right next to, which I didn't cover with models, so they didn't die. But I tried. I surrounded it, damn it. So it was close. Let's see. So Pyromancy is pretty much not good for fighting power armor. MEQs, it's for fighting hordes. But if you're fighting hordes, it's something you should always consider when you're deciding which powers you need, because it can be really great. Your basic power is a heavy flamer. If you already have a squad of flamers, so like if you have your Primera Psyker and you have a bunch of veteran squads, maybe put them in with the guys with fire if that is appropriate. Fire Shield's super cool, gives you 4+ cover save, and if something charges you, 2d6 strength 4 hits at Hammer of Wrath time.
That is nice.
Yeah, because
Like a mini cleansing flame.
right, yeah, a balanced one that doesn't
That's
hit
fair,
every
yeah.
single guy. I would totally be fine if that was what happened with cleansing flame, as opposed to all 30 of my doors getting burned to death. But whatever. Grey Knights, no one loved them.
No.
Let's see. So you have a new Psychic Power as well, have you, George?
I actually have.
Yeah?
I played a couple games testing out a strange list with Eldar allies with a Farseer on a jet bike who joined a big battlesuit squadron so they could all still jump back at the end of the phase.
Nice.
And I was taking telekinesis. No, I was taking telepathy
Mhm.
for the rerolls, and I basically just kept rolling on telepathy to try and get the one where I rerolled my hits and they rerolled successful armor saves. And it never really seemed to work out. But I think that's most. Oh, it was divination, by the way. It never really seemed to work out just because I had spent 190 points on this Farseer.
Yeah.
And then I'd had to spend like another 100 points on the 5 sniper guys.
Mhm.
That's like 300 points that doesn't do anything on its own.
Right.
So I mean, it worked out okay, but then my opponents kept denying the witch whenever I hit them with the reroll thing. So
Did your opponents have Psychers of their own to buff it? Or were
no, they
all
just
sixes?
like rolled 6s.
Okay.
So that was unfortunate, but at the same time, I just kind of I was just going through testing different allies, and then I switched to the orcs when I was in the league, and the orcs were working amazing.
Yeah.
So I just stuck with them for the rest of the league to see how they worked out. And I just kind of came to the conclusion that the orcs really offer a lot more to the army because they block like Groot. They're super tough. There's a huge unit. I've got a biker boss in there, and the biker boss always dies doing nothing. But at least I send him out turbo boosted and make my opponent freak out and do something to him. So it usually like buys me a turn.
Okay.
And the Eldar were just like, oh, I'm slightly better.
You move them much?
What?
You can move your boys much?
Oh yeah, my boys almost always walk straight forward every game.
Yeah.
Because if their objective's on the other side of the table, I'm gonna walk the boys towards them, and my opponent has to kill the boys. So the fire warriors in the back are like, cool, we got a 30-inch range gun. We're gonna stay safe and shoot you.
Okay.
So I mean, it's working out really good.
Okay. So dominate, which I had in my notes, but I didn't look up. That's the one where your opponent has to take a leadership test before he does anything move, shoot, or assault. That's also really good if you can resolve it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It pretty much just shuts that unit off. So.
Because weaken resolve lasts until the end of their turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And with divination, the reroll to hit power prescience, that works also until the beginning of your next turn, right? So if they charge you, you get to Overwatch. You still get the rerolls on all of those.
Nice.
Which is also very good. Because especially when you have like 3 multi-methods in the unit or dead squad, or your Grey Knights and you have a whole bunch of nasty side cannons, that sort of thing. So forewarning for divination gives you 4+ invul save. That's really great for, you can cast that on vehicles. I found that you can use to great effect.
Yeah.
So, and keep in mind you can also, if you have multiple psychers, use one psycher to buff his unit, and then the other guy can be like, hey, you'd be even better if I got to buff you too, right? With these little
teamwork in the 41st millennium.
Yeah, don't just be stuck in that guy has to use his power on his own squad. Precognition was the one I was talking about earlier, where it lets you reroll failed saving throws, but it only works on the psyker.
Ah.
So there's no way to get fortune for the Dark Eldar Archon.
No. So at that point, you're really relying on shrouding giving you your 2+ cover.
Yeah. Well, you also have your shadow field. I thought that's what you're talking about.
Well, no, like the way I've seen that unit is usually Harlequins with
Okay.
So
have you been using the stealth and shrouded units, George?
More often because I have Black Sun filters in all my units. So whenever I get Night Attacker, I just use it.
Okay.
But generally no.
Okay.
Because I don't think stealth suits are that good.
Yeah.
And people shooting at sniper drone teams at all is a bad idea because they only need to precision strike and kill one guy, and then the whole squad goes away.
Right. Yeah. And he's not a character, right?
He can't even look out, sir.
Yeah. So, but at 2,000 points, if you have all the heavy slots, it might be worth it. What do you think? Because you guys are doing 2,000 points next league, right?
Yeah, but for next league, what I'm probably going to do is I'll think about it for the Dark Eldar. But if I'm bringing allies next league, it might just be like 6 Fire Warriors, a Battlesuit Commander, and 3 Broadside. A Broadside team. Yeah. And they're going to stand in the back and wish they could be relevant. Yeah. But they can't because they hate the Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Only non-friends in the whole book. Actually, what I kind of want to do, but I don't own enough Eldar to do this, is I want to take Eldar main force and then buy like 2 Farseers and for the cheapest 4 troop choices I can. And then Ally Tau and Ally Dark Eldar. And since Eldar is the main book, everyone's Battle Brothers, at least with Eldar.
Yeah.
So they're both scoring and denial.
Huh.
So
how do the allied units interact with one another?
I'm not sure if I would have to roll a d6 when I'm close to each other.
Yeah.
But I can keep them far apart. It just matters that they're denial and scoring.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
I'd have to talk with whoever's running the league about how we should resolve that.
So back on the psychic power. So Biomancy is the one where everything work charge 1. So it's really a gamble which one of the psychic powers you're going to get. And about half of them kind of suck. They're just not that great.
No.
So, but the other half of them are really good. So it's really a gambler table. It's kind of an orky one. I wish orcs could take it.
Where you bust into there with 4 psychic powers and you're like, I'm getting at least one good one.
Right. Yeah. So, but you don't get to do the work charge 2-1. I can't get it because I'm only master level 1. You don't get to avoid any of that. And they range from buffing your guy in close combat a lot to being Witchfire, and they're kind of all over the place. So, and the Primaris one's Smite, which is, Assault 4, Strength 4, AP 2. It's good. There's Terminators around, but it's not fantastic. It's not 12-inch range. So, I don't know. But man, Iron Arm?
Iron Arm is good.
Yeah. You can put that on the Doom, even Summon Folks in general.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
Swarm
that.
Lord.
You just put it on anything.
There's no model that doesn't want to get Iron Arm in that.
Yeah. Even a Primaris Psychers be like, well, it's not really what I wanted, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll be Strength 6, Tough 6.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to be a Dreadnought.
Yeah. Or it's like a Space Marine Librarian that has on a bike. It's like, now I'm Tough 8 because bikes are now straight Tough 5.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got essentially a mobile beat stick.
Endurance is actually pretty cool. So it gives you Feel No Pain, It Will Not Die, and Relentless. That's a lot of really cool stuff. One of the things running my cans I've noticed is if one of them takes one hull point, I just move the other guys in front of it, and he doesn't die for a little while. So if you have a unit of really tough things like Lame and Rust tanks, and you give them all It Will Not Die, and they start repairing hull points and stuff, like it's really good. It's really easy if your opponent doesn't kill one of them to negate damage in that fashion.
Oh,
right?
That's terrifying.
Yeah, right?
And now that they
Hellhounds, George, you can do that with Hellhounds.
Yes, you can.
Yay!
Unfortunately, it doesn't give you any of the defensive ones you can use on vehicles, like the 4+ Invul Save or 4+ Cover.
Yeah.
So, but you can have 2 Primary Psychers, or 4 if you're playing 2,000 points. So
Cool.
So anyway, that's about what I'm going to talk about psychic powers, I think, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
When I officially get a game in, and I will let you know when that actually happens.
Next Wednesday, maybe?
Next Wednesday, I'm actually not going to be there. I'm actually going to be going to a birthday party. So
2 weeks?
Yeah, I should be there in 2 weeks.
Alright, in 2 weeks, we'll give you guys Justin's first ever 6th edition battle report.
Which would be the first week of the league.
Awesome.
Yay.
Hey. I'm probably going to get steamrolled. But
I'll tell you how bad the Dark Eldar are. I don't think they're going to be that bad, honestly. The army is built on strong principles. So I can take some nerfs to my scoring if I just kill everything.
Yeah. Most likely what I'm going to probably be taking in the league is probably either Space Marines with iGuard allies or iGuard with Space Marine allies. Because that's all I have painted and put together. Because my Necron army is in shambles.
Painted.
Yeah, George. But like my Necron army, like I said, it's in shambles right now just because I'm in the process of redoing it. So all my warriors are stripped paint, they're off bases. So
yeah, because you had Necrons before the new book came out. So
yeah, I've had it for a while.
And there's a lot of new stuff in there.
Yeah, I was a fan. Listen, this is the one time I'm probably gonna go like hipster mode. Is that I was the first person that was into Scarabs and into raids before they were even like good.
Yeah, that's a lie. I've been terrified of Scarabs my entire 40k career.
Yeah,
but no one ever used them.
I remember when Scarabs were single models, and they would just move on to your frickin' vehicles back in 2nd edition. Yeah. Nasty things. Because they did the same thing in Trophic Strike. It was like, pink and your...
Yes.
You left them on there for markers.
Neat.
Yeah. See, but now I can run my Scarabs like how I ran them before as like quote-unquote tar pits for like the rest of the game. Because that's what they used to do back in 4th edition.
And then some Primaris Psycho with Hammer Arm comes in and he's like, I'm Strength 6!
And it has to be in close combat when that happens. But Chaplains actually just destroy Scarab. It's pretty funny.
Oh, wow.
Strength 6. Instant death every shot. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. So on power weapons, I think Power Maul is actually pretty good. I know you guys...
I think...
It has its uses. I mean, definitely for chaplains and stuff like that. I mean, it definitely has its uses where it's pretty much it sets it up for you for like if you know the combat's gonna be going for a long while, it sets you up to be at an advantage for the next couple rounds. Yeah, because it's like okay, now you're striking I1 and everybody else is gonna strike before you. So
that's one thing I don't like about the change to Thunder Hammers and now to Power Mauls is they don't affect vehicles at all. So it's only unsaved wounds cause the initiative 1 next turn. There's no shaken or stun when you smack the Thunder Hammer.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. So I really miss the old things where you just like you see the.
Well, I think that's because when you look at the damage table, all the results are basically hull point and.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, then at that point you're kind of like going over the top. Like, oh, I'm gonna glance you.
Yeah, don't need that. No one needs that.
No. So on hull points. I've noticed a lot of people that are still running their 5th edition armies with lots of transports. They're not doing as bad as I thought they were going to, because those vehicles stay intact longer, and they also become wrecks more often.
Yeah.
So
which
you can
doesn't
use
really affect too many people. Like
you can
especially
use it to your advantage because
yeah.
you know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
Like you know this is just going to be a wreck, so you can use the block line of sight in certain ways, and so that's pretty cool actually.
Angle your vehicles in such a way that when your guys pop out,
right,
no line of sight.
I've also seen people who weren't expecting their vehicles to not explode to block their own line of sight because they have too many vehicles on the table.
Yeah.
Because they're used to them going up a little easier.
Yeah.
So guard with the 6+ chimeras can do this. They're just like, oh, I can't see across the table now. That's bad news.
Yeah, that's bad news.
So.
But then again, they're not so as sad as because more wrecks are available, then their guys aren't getting blown to smithereens by their own vehicles.
Right.
It's like, hey,
and
no
because it's strength 4 now. That's bad.
Yeah, guard don't like that, especially guys that only have armor 5.
So one thing that's interesting about the terrain rules is if your vehicle becomes wreck, it's 5+ save. But if the wreck's on the table at the beginning of the game as terrain, it's 4+. So it's kind of silly that way. It's probably an oversight, but that's how it works. So if you're just, oh, we don't have enough terrain, you're playing at your house, and you throw down a land raid or whatever, that's 4+ save.
It's a 4+.
Yeah, but not if you're riding in it and it explodes. So.
Yeah. Alright.
What are we doing now?
We'll probably hit up league news real quick just to see how, because the only person that actually played a game in the league right now was George.
So we had the last week of our 6th edition 1666 point league, and well, we had a lot of people missing. So instead of really getting paired up against players, it was just kind of like find and play someone you haven't played in the league so far. So I got a chance to play my buddy Kyle, who we had on last week with his Demon Tactica. And Kyle had a list. He was really expecting to play one of the Tau players because the other Tau players were also like 2-2 or 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead he got to play me. So his list was actually absolutely terrifying for me because he had 2 15-man squads of Pink Horrors, 2 5-man squads of Pink Horrors, 2 Plague Bearer squads, the little Manta Ray things, and 2 3-man Flamer squads, and a Fate Weaver.
Okay.
And
it's not bad.
I mean, it was really scary, and it was the Relic, which was like the shittiest mission in the world for the Tau.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is on turn 1, it was the triangles deployment. So I basically block off an entire quarter of the table with models. And surprise, the 30 orc boys are out in front.
Yeah.
And so Kyle drops down, and the Pink Horrors just go to town, and like 18 orc boys die turn 1. And so I kind of move the boys out, and I send the biker boss off. I'm like, all right, boss, I know you're not going to win, but charge that 15-man unit of horrors and fight them for like 6 turns. So the boss goes off, and he starts taking care of stuff, and the Fire Warriors kill off the little squads of Pink Horrors, and I start plinking away at stuff. And I just kind of move out. And then the second turn comes along, and most of the rest of his stuff deep strikes in. He had a mishap with Fate Weaver, who goes back into ongoing reserves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means he automatically shows up the next turn.
Right.
So that was alright. For him, at least. And the Flamers came down, and the Flamers and some more Pink Horrors killed off the rest of the boys. So I'm like, oh shit. 2 turns in, the boys are all gone. His entire army's AP4. But at that point, he started playing a little more defensively because he wanted to just grab the relics and run to the other side of the table because he knew I couldn't really catch him.
Yeah.
But every time he'd pick up a relic, I'd precision shot the guy holding it and make him drop it. So it really slowed down his ability to move with the relic.
Yeah.
Especially because he had like Plague Bearers who couldn't run and stuff like that. And so Fate Weaver comes down right next to the biker boss fighting, I guess now is like 14 Pink Horrors.
Oh, wow.
And the Fate Weaver's like, I'm going to turn you into a spawn. And then he misses. And then, alright, so that combat keeps happening. The biker boss takes 1 wound and fails 1 more save. So he's 0 for 2. And the next turn, I'm moving over to the right. I'm trying to get to the center of the table while avoiding the Fate Weaver.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem I had this entire game was he had a fucking changeling.
Yeah.
I don't buy sergeants for my Fire Warrior squads or anything.
Yeah.
So their leadership's 7.
Ugh.
And so he really, like, I got scared out of doing a lot of shooting because of that changeling. But eventually it got to a point where I'm like, okay, all right, the Fate Weaver's right there. I just have to go for it. I just have to break through it. So I go and I shoot the Fate Weaver, and over the course of 2 turns, he passes way more saves than he should, which is, I feel like, always what happens with the rerollable 3-up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I get the Fate Weaver off the table. And his stuff's trying to, like, turtle behind a line of sight blocking piece of terrain. And it gets to turn 4, and the battle suits are like, we want to win this game. So every single battle suit rolls 10 or higher on their jump, shoot, jump move. So
Wow.
they just, like, fucking fly across the table to get better firing positions to start shooting stuff out.
Yeah.
And so the game keeps going. I basically... Oh, and his last unit, his flamers come in, and he mishaps them, and he rolls a 3, and I'm like, awesome, and I put them in the far side of the table. And that really came back to bite me in the ass. Because they were on the far side of the table, so I couldn't table him.
Oh,
So sad.
No, it was bad, because on turn 6, I could have tabled it. On turn 5, I could have tabled him, but the flamers were hiding on the other side of the table, and I couldn't kill them. So if the game ended on 5, where I didn't have anyone at the objectives, I would have lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to 6, luckily. I kill off the last of his guys, except for the 3 flamers who are hiding in a building. And the Fire Warriors don't quite get to the objective. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, wait a second, I've gotten out. So I detach the Battlesuit Commander from the squad he's with. I jump up, I join the Fire Warriors. The relic needs to be picked up by a model in a scoring unit.
Mm-hmm.
The Battlesuit Commander grabs the relic. He shoves it onto a Fire Warrior who's scoring at the end of the phase.
Nice.
And then the game ends, and I end up winning that one. Almost tabling him, but barely winning.
Yeah.
So it was a really good game. His list was really terrifying. He killed all the fucking orcs in turn 1. Except for the Biker Boss, who got shot at a bunch trying to turn him into a spawn, and that just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then the Pink Horror is just like, take a wound. Take a wound. And like, I can't make saves. And the Biker Boss dies. That's what the Biker Boss does, though. I played him in 6 games, and in 1 game, he killed, like, he did something notable.
Yeah.
And that was the game where I was playing against Kelly, and the Biker Boss was going to charge into some Hammernators, like 2. Fails his charge. And Kelly charges in with the 1 remaining Hammernator. The Biker Boss says, I got this, and he Overwatch kills the Hammernator.
Nice.
No.
And then he charges and tears a Landspeeder out of the sky.
Nice.
Okay.
And then he gets shot down by a bunch of guardsmen.
Yeah. I used to run a Biker Boss all the time. Got that nice Forge World one.
Yeah.
Almost never did anything.
Yeah,
Everybody freaked out over
That's
that.
the thing.
Yeah.
The Biker Boss's job is to be like, shoot me!
He has a
He's
Super
really
scary.
fucking good at it.
Yeah.
he has a very big fear factor.
Yep.
That's attached. To
It's that Strength 10 Power Claw he's got. It's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
No, because
And
I changed my list a little bit because I was expecting to fight against Doug. And Doug had the Knob Bikers, so I changed my list. I cut 2 orcs, so my orc boy squad was 28 boys.
Mhm.
So I could upgrade one to a Knob. So if he challenged me, the Knob with no upgrades could take the challenge. And the Biker Boss could be like, oh look! Top 5 boys!
Yeah.
Bang!
Yeah.
But Doug didn't show up until an hour late, so he couldn't play that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also wanted to play. I got to get a game with our other Necron player, John Platt.
You've been trying to get that game set
I
up
want to
for
get
the
that
longest
game,
time.
yeah, because he
you
thinks
have
he's something
broadsides
special
and-
with his
Shoot them out of the
Necrons.
sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I can knock him out.
That army's pretty terrifying for most people.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's a really solid build so far.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
It'll get less and less powerful as things get Skyfire.
No. Oh, the Necron army, yeah.
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 Not yours.
My army's
Yours
scary
is fine.
too.
It's town. It shoots a bunch. This
Yeah.
is the addition of shooting, so
Yeah.
you're fine.
No,
and,
but
and you have better crew now.
Yeah, they're cheaper and tougher,
And fearless.
and they don't run away. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Scout Pop on there.
Yep. Power Claw. That's way better than 3 wound dude.
That
Just
3 wound
stand
guy for 28 points.
Right.
What does he get? He's
Gets a stick.
he's got a bolter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He has 3 base attacks. Woo!
Yep.
Yeah, I really hope the crew get a lot of love. I want them actually. What I'd like for the crew is if they had a small presence in the Tau book, and then they made like a Sisters of Battle style, take us as allies, White Dwarf release.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, sure.
Or they could go the way that Necrons went, where because honestly, I think you're one of the few people that actually use Kroot very consistently.
They're amazing. I mean,
Most top
now that I
players
have,
a unit at least.
Have a unit at least,
Yeah.
I usually
I mean-
ran 20 to 30.
Yeah, George wouldn't take Fire Warriors unless he had to last
Yeah.
edition. So.
Right, and now they're much better.
Yeah.
So I'm working with them. I think it's just that people. I think the big bonus I've had all league is people don't. Well, I've had two big bonuses, and first is that my army's so different than everything else that no one's doing the right things.
That's how my Horde Orcs always won.
Yeah.
I knew how to fight it. It was also pretty impossible to beat because you couldn't
Scary
kill that many
shit.
models.
Yeah.
Well, with the way wound allocation worked before, I mean,
And that's when 9 Hellhounds roll onto the table.
that could beat it for sure.
Yeah.
But so you'd see somebody that would have like 3 Devastator squads on the side of the table, and they'd shoot at your boys, and they do a bunch of wounds, and you'd pull the models where they put the templates because those are where you would get the most casualties. Now you have to pull from closest, so templates just always hurt a whole lot,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's rough. It's really rough,
Yeah.
especially those big templates, those indirect ones that kill your knobs.
Well, the indirect ones you take from where the template lands.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
means you can snipe it. You can
Oh
snipe
yeah,
out.
that.
Right, so that means the knobs miraculously are mortar magnets for some reason, and the
Or knobs.
Yeah. My knobs don't do as great anymore. Someone pointed out on Reese's forums that you can't accept a challenge if you're not engaged. So if you're outside of support range, at the start of combat, you cannot accept a challenge. So you should always keep your sergeant a little bit further back.
So he can pile in during initiative
Yeah,
and then get his
yeah.
swings.
It's a little harder to because depending on how far your opponent gets, that might not work.
Yeah.
Right.
But you should at least have them a couple inches back just in case.
Plan out for it.
Yeah, because the thing I don't like about challenges is that they're almost purely defensive. There's generally no benefit to calling a challenge when you're trying to kill the opponent, because they took out the wonderful part in fantasy where you get to overkill and you get to win combat by really beating that guy down. And I don't see why they took it out, because it's cool.
Yeah, it was. I'm really gonna miss issuing challenges with shield drones.
I bet you will.
Yes.
And no
It
one
was
else.
it was really fun for the 2 weeks I was able to do it.
Issuing
in
a
the league.
challenge with a shield drone, or
Accepting a challenge with the shield drone.
Yeah, somebody called me and asked me what I thought about that because I thought it was so stupid.
It was dumb as shit, right? But it totally worked.
It's a dumb.
Yeah. And I was like, rules is written, I can't argue. And I'm like, really? Yeah, it'll get FAQ'd at some point.
And it did.
Soon, and it did.
And it did.
Miraculously.
Yeah, so take that, George.
Because most
I
likely
don't know,
you
I
were
got my
probably-
target lock back. It's fair trade.
Yeah.
you and every other Tau player were like, okay,
I
what
don't
can we
think
find?
most
here?
Tau players really abused that.
Well, maybe here in San Diego.
There aren't
There-
That's
Tau
because
players.
I told everyone about it.
yeah.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
Tau players don't exist anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand, but fuck. 3 more Tau players showed up at Game Empire. I mean, they're all losing, so I still look good, but still. And no offense to you guys. You guys are awesome. Keep fighting for the greater good. One day, we're going to take 1, 2, 3.
Take George out in the bag, get the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Also, you could do that. Yeah, sure. That would suck.
It's like,
Steal his Tau, they're purple.
You wouldn't want them. They're purple.
find whatever model that Tau made that is metal, stick it in a sock, and then you can beat him with it.
Ha! Shows you. Oh shit! No Vespids. Oh god, that's gonna hurt.
They're all spiky.
But no, the other thing I got really lucky on this league is I fought 3 Terminator armies. Like, they weren't just Terminators. Okay, one of them was just Terminators, Grey Knights. But when the majority of my opponent's army is just gonna show up in my face, and then I'm like, oh well, I guess the Fire Warriors will double tap into you, and
Plasma.
you just get to double tap everything into them. Not even Terminators can handle that.
No.
Yeah. And none of them were. Oh no! Wait, Kelly had Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, Terminators look pretty damn great if you're fighting other Marines.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still great against Marines because all the 6th edition, all the FAQ things that made people better at fighting Terminators. I mean, only it's Chaos Lords and Xeno stuff got better at fighting Terminators.
Yeah.
Which is good because they had nothing against them before.
Well, if the rumors are true, if you take Abaddon, he makes chosen troops in the new Chaos book, which means you can spam the special weapons like nobody's business. So I think
It's gonna get expensive, but
oh sure.
And
It's
those-
just like how Wolfguard were.
I don't think I don't think I'm going to be unhappy about seeing those chosen models on the table.
No.
Those
That's
models
how-
are great.
Oh,
No,
so
the,
good.
the
The
models
models, yeah.
look good.
I
I
hope
don't
they
care
redo
about
the whole
chosen.
chaos line to be all actually chaosy like that.
Yeah.
They're just
I
gorgeous
figured
models.
because I mean, take a look at what they did with Dark Vengeance. You
Yeah.
got the Hellbrute, the new Chaos Lord that came in with the box,
Yeah.
the Chaos Marines, and then the Cultists. I'm just like, dude, those Cultists look gorgeous.
Yeah. And
I just want the Chaos Lord model, and I just want to paint it. I don't play Chaos at all. It's kind of like what happened when I bought the Sanguinary. I was like, I like the model. I know a lot of people don't like the
that's why
model.
they made it look so good.
Yeah.
So you would do that.
I just want to buy it and paint it.
I really want to buy that box set, but I just can't justify it. I don't, and neither do I have any interest in either of those armies.
That was the issue for me too, because
Too
I
many,
mean,
it's just all Space
it
Marines.
was both Space Marines,
Mhm.
Dark Angels, and Chaos.
You want the cultists.
I want the cultists. I want the less corrupt cultists, and then I want to make little tiny Tau symbols, put them over the chaos symbols, and use them as Tau human auxiliaries.
Yeah.
There's only two things I actually want out of that box. It is the Chaos Lord and the small rulebook, and that's it.
Small rule looks pretty badass.
Oh, yeah.
I do love that.
GW was smart about that small rule.
You have
How
underneath
much-
your arm over there the collector's edition rule book,
Yes, I
which
do.
is I think you can kill somebody with that pretty easily.
You can kill somebody with a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you can definitely do it really easily with that.
But I mean, this is too big for me,
That's what
and
she
that's
said.
twice as big.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Size difference. That's twice size.
Some books just don't measure up.
Yeah. Also, and the other thing on the league news is that we did a test video for a casted game. Something that I was pretty much last minute, got off of work, and then George reminded me something about taking some equipment down there for some sound tests.
Mhm.
And then I had the bright idea, just like, you know what, let's just try to cast the game.
So what happened is Danny called up John Platt, our Necron player, called him out, and they had a little grudge match. And Danny was like, "Oh, I'm gonna lose, blah blah," and then he totally.
He told
Well, just watch the video.
yeah, you'll watch the video. And
See
the only
how
re-
Danny's chaos miraculous. I don't understand how he makes them work,
Yeah.
but somehow Danny does really well with those old chaos,
Yeah.
and he's been doing it consistently, and I just don't get it.
His guard army was better on paper than that chaos guard army was on paper, but he didn't play the guard right at all.
No.
And he can play the chaos right. So go with Danny.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
there's a lot of I've put down some armies on the table and people laugh at them and then I kick their ass and they're like, you played that really well.
Yeah.
So you can get a good internet list, but if you don't know how to do it right, or if someone takes a nice balanced list, they'll probably kick your ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the only reason why I chose their game is because they were closer to the table I was working at with
Yeah.
all the sound equipment. And I was just like, you guys are going to be the
It
ones.
was more interesting than a bunch of demons drop down and shoot orcs.
And the reason why it also was really cool is that when it comes to Danny and with John, they do like to talk a lot during their games.
They're animated.
It made it very animated, so that's one of the better games to go watch. We also had some guest speakers.
A lot of people popped in and off.
Yeah, a
popped
lot
in
of people popped in and out. Ben,
was nice.
that's
his
what she
fiance,
said.
yeah. So
Uh,
Ben, his fiance, were on the podcast, the live cast.
Her name is Jen.
Yeah, Janet. And then
Hi, Jenna. We remembered your name.
some of us. But then also Mr. Doug Johnson came in and commentated.
Mr.
Yes, Mr. Doug Johnson.
Sir Doug Johnson.
Yes.
Esquire.
Actually, if you want to be a lord or a lady of a specific thing, there is actually a place in England that you can actually get registered as a lord and get a title.
Cool.
Yeah, my friend got it, so now he is lord. I'm dead serious. He has the documentation.
How much money did that cost?
Like $50, and they give you like all the documentation.
Dude, what? Do you have... Yeah, going there one day on... it sounds like a great honeymoon spot,
Yeah.
actually.
And there's different titles you can apply for, not just lord and lady. You can, I think there's like other ones. I'll look it up. I'll put a link to the site. Check it out. It was something that was overlooked by the British government.
Nice.
And yeah, so now it's this like literally out in the middle of nowhere oil platform that is its own little country.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, so that is it. So yeah, just check out the video, see how it is. I do apologize for the sound. It was a test video, so I'm gonna probably be making some minor tweaks here and there for the next casting game. so that you don't get as much background noise. Because they actually made Game Empire seem a lot more busier that night than it normally is.
Justin's actually going to be a sound engineer in a couple of years. I'm having to do all this.
It's actually finding out that doing a lot of this stuff is actually really fun. Like I'm finding it very interesting. I like doing a lot of the research and just learning how things work and how sound works. I figure I got good ears for it because I'm the only person that works in my company that when we're actually working with the industrial size centrifuges, my hearing gets better over the years where everybody else gets worse. So
that lasts.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's like, why is my hearing getting good and your guys is getting bad? I don't understand.
Filipino.
Yes, genetics.
Mhm.
We're all about the sound. Okay, so that's it for league news. We'll go ahead and run through the announcements real quick, and then we'll probably be calling it. So for announcements, again, Danny's tournament, September 22nd. I believe it's 1750, just normal rules as is in the book. So keep that in mind. Over at Ease, it's going to be the 1 year anniversary celebration actually next week on the 15th. So be sure to check that out. We're going to have a lot of games and prizes, door prizes, raffles. So definitely was fun during the opening thing. It's going to be set up just like how they did before. So
And if Danny flakes, go over there.
yeah. And then let's see, 40K tournament, September 22nd. Is also at Ease. It's the same day as Danny's tournament, but this one's going to be 2,000 points, so double force org. I'm really tempted to go to that one just because I want to run 6 smallest and just see how it goes. But,
That could work very well there.
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Paradise Games, they actually had a tournament. I actually forgot to get the date, but their tournament I believe is going to be happening last week of September, so I will double check that on you. Hopefully it's not going to be updated until then, but I'll put it in the notes or the YouTube description. Kamikaze is next week, September 15th to the 16th. I'm actually going to be going that to help out Reese with some of the video stuff and interviews.
Hopefully I'll be there too, but I'm not going to be. I'm just going to go check it out.
Okay, sounds cool.
There was an FAQs before. I don't know, maybe now.
Yeah, definitely check out.
Toned down, so yeah, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely check out Kamikaze. If you're not gonna go for a tournament, just check out Kamikaze in general. It's a lot cheaper than going to Comic Con, and it's straight comics. So I mean, you get none of the Hollywood-ish stuff in it.
There's games too.
There's games and stuff like that, so definitely check it out. It's a lot cheaper, so I think it's like $30 for 2 days. So,
Ross is going to be there. Ross Thompson with Subpop Miniatures. I'm just going to put in a shameless plug for him because I went up to Seattle match with him last week.
Yeah.
So Tentacle Bento is going to be there. That game, check it out. It's hilarious. It's like a matching game with
Tentacle
schoolgirls
monsters
and tentacle monsters, and it's all super innuendo, and it's not as bad as you may have heard. You should look at it. It's hilarious.
Okay.
And there's girls in schoolgirl outfits that you should look at too.
Nice. Are they going to be showcasing the Super Dungeon Explorer expansion?
I do believe so, and Relic Knights.
And Relic Knights. Are they going to have copies available or no?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Well, definitely check it out. If you haven't played Super Dungeon Explorer, it is an awesome throwback to the old RPG games back from like Nintendo and Super Nintendo. So definitely check that out. It's a really fun game. A lot of cool minis. I bought one and I'm still inclined to try to paint every single model, which is impossible and insane. But it's just me.
You're just lazy.
Yeah. That too. But yeah, check out Kamikaze. Stanley supports it. Support Stanley.
Yeah, it's his. He made the entire convention. He walks around, checks things out because he's Stanley. He does that.
Yes.
He can do what he wants.
He's a very tall man.
Yes.
If you don't know, you see it in person.
I actually met Stanley in person. It's actually really cool. If you don't know where Stanley is at the convention, just look for the crowd of people just floating around. Yeah. So just check him out. And the last thing is actually something that is really cool for me and George. I don't know, Shane, if you play Magic still.
I have cards. I don't really play.
Is the Return to Ravnica is at the end of the month, which is kind of cool.
the pre-release for the Return to Ravnica set is coming out at the end of the month. And anyone who doesn't know, Ravnica was the set they put out 6 years ago,
which was really good.
and it was generally considered like the high point of Magic. It was like amazing to play constructed. It was amazing to draft. It brought a ton of new players into the game, and so they're returning to that setting. they're bringing back all the way it's worked out is everything is set into 2 color combinations, and they have all of the 10 2-color combinations, each with their own special flavor, and there are 10 separate keywords for them. So if you play Magic at all, go check it out. It's probably going to be really great. There's the spoilers that have already come out. The rumor mill are amazing. I mean, it just looks like the set's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope it's going to be as good as the original Ravnica, because that was
a good set.
I think that was the most fun I ever had playing Magic, was back in Ravnica.
Because Ravnica came out after Kamigawa.
It was the set right after the Kamigawa set.
Yeah, so Kamigawa was cool theme-wise, but not a good set, in my opinion, play-wise.
It was a really good, just as an aside, Kamigawa was a super good limited set.
Yes.
Because it was well-balanced within itself. But the problem with Kamigawa was it was surrounded on one side by Mirrodin, which was crazy, like the most broken set Wizards has made in the last 15 years.
Skullclamp.
Archbound Ravager.
Yeah.
And then on the other side was Ravnica, which was just so unique and creative, and because there were the 2 color constrictions, they got to make a lot of really strong cards.
Yeah.
So Kamigawa really paled in comparison, constructive-wise, when compared to those 2.
Yeah.
But it had its ups.
It had its ups. I mean, one of my favorite cards that actually came out of there, or cards that came out of the Kamigawa set, was the snake cards, which was really cool. Because I played a snake deck.
There was the snake
tribe
sub-theme.
Yes, I like them.
I stopped playing at Fallen Empires because that set sucked really bad, and then got back into it.
I'm so sorry you had to play Fallen Empires.
I apologize.
Did you play through Homelands?
No.
Okay.
I got back into it for Urza's.
Urza's was good.
Why would you get back into it during Earth?
That was awesome.
That was the most broken set ever.
Yeah,
I guess that's the reason to get back into it.
I had friends that were professional Magic players, so they were just like,
nice.
"You want cards? Here, come hang out with us."
Okay.
Cool.
And I built a deck that could actually beat some of them sometimes.
Urza's
With their fucking turn 1 win with Urza's. What was the one where you could just like pay 1 life to draw a card?
Oh, there was turn 1 win.
Yawgmoth's Bargain.
Oh, there was they had Yawgmoth's Bargain. That card was broken as.
Yeah, that was turn 1 win.
Yeah.
If they pulled it, I was like, oh, good.
You hit that 6 drop, and you're like, all right, 19 cards later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except I had a Tormod script. I put that out turn 1, and they were like, I'm fucked.
Oh yeah, because they used Yawgmoth's Will to play their cards from their graveyard a second time.
So
Yeah.
that was fun. It was like,
Sideboarding.
and I might win. Your combo is broken.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So definitely check out Ravnica. I'm probably gonna start getting back into Magic just because of the Ravnica set. If it is good, as I'm hearing it is, I may spend a couple dollars just to get into this set, but we'll see.
Well, it's only
$3.
$15.
I'm buying a pack.
It's $15 a draft. It's the best way to start playing Magic.
Yeah,
Because then
$15
people
a draft.
can't beat you because they spent more money than you.
Oh my god, that was
They
one
beat
of the
you
things that
because
really
they-
retarded me
They pulled
about
better
Magic.
cards than you.
And know what they're doing.
And they know what they're doing.
When you start getting people that are playing 60 card decks and they're saying that this deck costs them $500.
Actually, that doesn't happen that much in Magic these days.
Yeah, but before I was just like,
I really enjoy the Magic the Gathering games that have been coming out.
oh yeah,
On Steam.
Oh, the
Balance,
Duel of the
like,
Planeswalker?
Duel of the
yeah.
Planeswalker. I
Duel
actually
of the
had that on
Planeswalkers
my
are pretty cool.
I had
Because
that on my
for-
iPad.
What, $10 to get a nice balance set? I can go online and play and not feel like I.
So here's a cool little spoiler story from Duels of the Planeswalkers. So the way it works in Duels of the Planeswalkers is you kind of take the role as one of these Planeswalker characters, and then they have their own theme deck built. Well, some guys went into the Duel of the Planeswalkers code and found code for a brand new Planeswalker that no one had ever seen before.
Yeah.
And he had Izet in his name.
Uh-oh.
So we kind of used, and it had the code for 3 of the cards that had his name on it in there. So we kind of figured out from Duel of the Planeswalkers, holy shit, we're going back to Ravnica, and Izet's going to have this Planeswalker guy.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really cool. There's a neat little aside there.
Mm-hmm.
Duel of Planeswalkers is a really fun, self-contained way to play Magic, and it's generally balanced.
And it's $10 instead.
And it's super cheap.
Super cheap.
And if you buy it, I think you get a voucher code to get some cards in real
I
life.
get like a 6-card pack.
Yeah.
So yeah, buy that.
Yeah, check it out.
Support video games. Go on Steam.
Go on Steam. Steam is awesome.
Yep.
I think the last game I bought on Steam was Racketeer.
Mhm.
It's a RPG about running an item shop.
Reciteer. That
Oh,
game
yeah,
is
Reciteer.
that game's fun as shit.
Yeah,
I must say,
it teaches me about business and economics.
Capitalism ho.
Yes.
I'm so disappointed that Torchlight got pushed back until 2 days after Borderlands 2 comes out. Because
Torchlight got pushed back?
Man.
Yeah, Torchlight 2 comes out on the 20th, and Borderlands 2 comes out on the 18th. And I know which one I'm going to buy. Because I already bought it.
Well, on the plus side, Diablo 3 is dying. So that's good for Torchlight.
Yeah,
Are you sure it's dying, or is it already dead?
It might be in its death throes right now.
I don't know about that. It's Blizzard.
It's Blizzard.
I mean, I don't know. My opinion on Diablo 3 right now is they simplified it too much. Like in Diablo 2, the items did really specific things, but in Diablo 3 they raise your base stats.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a best set of armor that's best for all of your builds, instead of like, oh, I need this one because it makes my Whirlwind better. This is smart for my Whirlwind build. But this is for the build where I have all of the shouting masteries and I call myself Fred Flintstone and run around yelling yabba dabba doo.
Yeah, it had a lot more customization.
Yeah.
And
I only played the beta for Diablo 3, and I just, that's what I got out of it. I was like, and I don't like the way the system's set up.
Yeah.
I don't like the way the items work. And then I was like, I'll wait until people play it and ask them how things change, and they didn't really change.
I mean, I liked it initially when I went through the entire thing, like the first run through, and beat the game, and then watched the cinematics. And I was like, okay, it's a cool game. But then after playing it through over and over and over again, I didn't get the same feel that I got when I played Diablo 2. Right. And it died a lot quicker because I played Diablo 2 for like at least over a year or so.
Yeah, and I've gone back and played it a couple times.
Yeah, I played it back in high school, and then when I got into college, found a couple friends that played it too and still played, so we ended up playing again and got back into it. But then, like with Diablo 3, it was just like I played it for like a couple weeks and it was just like I was done with it.
We're just getting old.
Well, that's good.
No, but Borderlands 2, everybody buy that. That game's freaking great. I was working at 2K. I got to test it, but I didn't have to play it all the way through because I was just doing online testing, so I was just pulling cables. So I know the first few hours of the game really well, but I haven't played the rest of it, so I actually get to enjoy it.
I've never played the first Borderlands, so I don't know.
You'll enjoy the second one.
Okay.
There's like nods to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
All the characters you could play as it's like years later, so they all have progressed in their lives and see where they're at.
Okay.
So if you don't know them, you won't miss out on much. They're still cool characters.
Okay. Yeah, because there's actually a video game that I'm actually looking forward to that I don't know when it's in beta right now, but the game I'm looking forward to is PlanetSide 2. Yeah, PlanetSide 2. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I saw
almost 40K as a video game.
Yeah, so because I saw some of the footage that was being released on YouTube, like packs and stuff like that, and I saw what they had at E3 before, and I was just like, this game looks amazing, and I want to play it.
Yeah, Kevin Burns, one of the local players, is working on that game.
Kevin Burns, yeah.
Support your local other gamers. Buy the game just so you can pay his bills.
Yeah, McPee's working on that game too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Because I think he's a graphic artist for the game. So yeah, support it. We have friends that work for Sony. Support them. They need jobs. Everybody needs jobs. So support video games.
And Sony does put out some good games themselves.
Yeah.
Unlike their Smash Bros. Clone, which doesn't look like
that. Does not look fun.
That does not look.
You can't fall to your death. Why would you not be able to? No.
The problem is
in a Smash Bros.
You have God of War in the game and he's not killing anybody.
No, because I've looked at the game a lot, and the problem with it is there's only one thing you're doing. The only point of that game is to build meter and then to kill them with your level 1 super. So the characters that are going to be either good are the characters that have good level 1 supers and the characters that can build meter. And those are the only thing that matter in the game.
Yeah.
George loves fighting games.
I fucking love fighting games.
Didn't know he's one of those people you don't play in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because it makes it not very fun for you.
Don't worry.
Unless you crank the handicap down, and then it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, then it's cool. My characters have 10% health. Let's go. Everyone's Dark Phoenix, but they don't transform.
George came over and played that on my 12-foot projector screen, and it's pretty fun.
Such awesomeness.
It was hard on a 12-foot screen because you got really distracted with where your eyes were, and you could lose track of your health or your meters or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought. George probably was just
welcome to fighting games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played George in that game
a
couple weeks ago, and I can beat like every one of my brother and his friends. And then when George came in, he was just like, "Whoa, I look like a noob."
And that's when I'm playing on the PlayStation Pad.
Yeah.
Not my fancy modded arcade stick.
He has an arcade stick. That should say something.
I even modded it so I can use it on Xbox and PlayStation.
That should say something.
Yep, that says something about how much I love fighting games. And the PlayStation one does not look that good.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't have really high hopes for this next Smash Bros. Either because Sakurai hates me, or he hates what I represent, as in players who seriously play fighting games.
Yeah.
So I hope it's fun.
Admittedly, George, there's fighting games and then there's Smash Brothers, which you take too seriously.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
It's Smash Bros.
yeah, you're right. I can take that too. That's why I don't play Captain Olimar against normal people. That's not fun for any of them. Not even fun for me.
Right.
Except when someone thinks they're good.
All right. So,
We were trying to wrap up, but then we got on video games, and I'm hungry, so we should wrap up.
All right, guys.
So we're gonna go ahead and call it. So we'll just leave the video games as our last comments. So this is Justin signing off.
This is George.
And it's Shane.
Thank you for listening in and watching. So
Stay classy, San Diego.
see you next time.
And Belgians.